Hello and welcome to the ORCA podcast, the ORCA Countdown. We are here counting down and ranking all 11 existing Australian LRGs. What is the best? What is the worst? And very excited. Well, we won't tell you what the worst was, but it was one of the four that we covered before. We're just keeping that on the down low. But now we are into the top 7 as ranked by you. This is number 7. Now we're getting into the juicy bits. We're going to cover the seasons from here, and I just want to do a bit of housekeeping before we get into the show. Firstly, thank you if you tuned in. There's one person tuned in. It's up there now. 2 people, or you're going to watch. I'm sure you're going to tune in as we go. I appreciate. I've scheduled this when probably Melbourne Survivor, actual Survivor is on. But really, who cares about New Era Survivor? It's hardly become a must-watch. It's just trash, really, isn't it? We're just living on the fumes of what we loved. It's fine, I guess. It's not Australian Survivor, that's for sure. It's sort of average. You can watch it on 9 replay later on. You're here for the real coverage, and I appreciate you being here. Voting is open for the awards and the all-important ORCA award, ORCA of the season, the Bromelo medal, as well as the other ones of lesser importance. Go and vote. I'll be sharing those links as the shows go on. We'll be having our usual coverage for this show, 4 episodes, for many hours of content. So look forward to that deep dive next week, hopefully with Jake, if I can track him down. He's a slippery one. Then the tea party, which is always fantastic. And then the coverage, awards and coverage with Liz. And before we get into the show tonight, which we'll get into very shortly, the 6th best season. As I announced, if you were watching the coverage I did at the end of last Backyard, the 6th best season, as voted by you, is Brisbane Survivor Season 1, Sam Green's foray into this community. Fantastic effort for him to get there. So go and watch Brisbane if you haven't watched Brisbane. It's a shortish season. It's only got like 10 on the cast. And it is a bit, you might be saying, that sounds pretty amateur. Why would I watch that? They're all his family and stuff. It's a bit like that. But the quality of the production is so good. He's so good as a host, which is, I think, why it deserves to be quite high. And I'm looking forward to what he can do with more of a community and more of an actual style season. That's in the future. Brisbane's in the future. Go and watch it. We're covering it next month sometime. But right now, we're getting into Melbourne Survivor 2, Warrandyte, as I like to call it. It was very dry. And joining me for this deep dive recap of the season, not my partner in crime as usual, but I've got another fantastic guest star. That's Jules. Jules can't be here today. I have another fantastic guest host to come and speak to me about this season, to speak to you about this season. She covered Playing with Fire when the ORCA pod was covering that, because I couldn't cover my own season, even though I'm going to do it in this countdown because, why the hell not? And then she was the A-star of Sydney Survivor. She can actually claim to be ride or dies with a real Survivor winner in Christy Bennett that no one else in this community can claim. And she has great takes. And I welcome to the show. Welcome, Dani.
Oh, hey. It's so nice to be back on the ORCA pod. How you going?
Good. I'm very good. I'm very excited to get into this season. I'll tell you about this, what this season means to me, and then you can tell me if it means anything to you. It might not mean anything to you, but it means a lot to me because this season, I actually discovered Backyard 2 first. That sort of popped up on my Facebook feed, and I'm like, what is this? What is this community Survivor? I could do this. I could take a couple of days off and play this. And I saw Backyard 2, and I'm like, this is fantastic. I love Backyard 2. I can't wait to cover it in the future. And then I'm like, what else is out there? And I found this Melbourne 2, and I was watching this too. I'm like, oh, this is great too. I really like how they're just like in a middle of nowhere, like in the wilderness. I know it's clearly a camp, but they're in the wilderness. Whereas Backyard 2, it's in a backyard, but it's also around this creek, so it's quite good. And then I watched Backyard 3, which was really in a backyard, and we talked about that when we covered it and how they had to change locations at the last minute. So it's fully understandable. But I was like, I don't want to play in a backyard. I want to play in an actual forest or wilderness or whatever. And no offense to the Backyard guys on what they were doing back then. They've obviously moved on from that as well. And I said, well, I'm going to apply for Melbourne Survivor. So this is a special spot for me because this is why I applied. But equally, this season and the season of Backyard that I mentioned, Backyard 2, are really the cornerstones of this entire community. These are the seasons that were made before there was a community, but made to a really high standard that got people interested in playing these games. And to the point it is now where, you know, it's almost impossible to get cast because there's 70 people, 100 people applying to every bloody game.
Huge, yeah.
But back then, that wasn't the case. You did it on your own. You did it on a shoestring. You didn't have big funded Indiegogos, people throwing money at you. You just had to do it with the sweat of your brow. And what Kyle and Brian did in Backyard 2, and obviously what Liz and the people that helped her out in this season did here, is what has made this community exist. So I think it's a very special season for that reason.
I completely agree with that take. So Sydney Survivor for me came up on my it was a targeted ad for me on Facebook, and that's kind of how I found out about the LRG community. So obviously I went digging to find out more, and Warrandyte's actually the very first LRG that I watched at all, in preparation for Sydney. So it's actually really special to me. So it was actually a lot of fun going back to rewatch it, and with just completely new vision of being in it, having played, and just seeing it from a different level. So I actually really, really enjoyed rewatching it this time around.
I didn't enjoy it that much.
It was just fresh eyes. I just saw it from a different perspective and understood the issues with quality of production and those. So it was just a completely different take for me. I understand game wise and the back half of the game is quite dry, but I enjoyed it more the second time around than I did the first.
I'm probably a first timer on this. There's a couple of things, and I'll just talk about what I don't like about the season, because I actually think there's a lot to like. She's watching now. I like Tara a lot. Tara's undoubtedly fabulous. The star of this season. Calvin's also fantastic as a villain, but Tara's sort of giving you a bit of villain, but also this great player, and she's just dominating the game in such an amazing way, and the confessionals are so good. I do remember watching Tara in this season at the time and thinking, oh my God, this woman is incredible at the game. I don't know how old she would have been then. I reckon
she was 20.
20.
She was 20 because she made a comment. She's like, I'm 20. It's okay that I'm broke.
I didn't appreciate how young she was. And when I met her it was actually quite exciting when I went to Melbourne to play in Playing with Fire, because on a lot of the crew there, as happens with these things where people play and then help out, there was Ramsey, who was like, hi Ramsey. I called him Ramsey, and he got all offended about it.
Oh no, don't do
that. And
I
said, it's not like I called you Greg or something, calm down. And then JP was there. Well, Vince and JP had done the casting, so I'd seen them already. And but and Angela was there and she was lovely, and CM, who was or Chris, who was on my tribe, who I was a big fan of as well. But Tara, I was actually fanboying a little bit about to see her.
Yeah.
How excited I was to meet her because she was such a good player.
Yeah, no, I when I was the first time watching Tara and being like, oh my God, who is this person? Because she just seemed very out there and just a villainous. And at the time, I didn't particularly appreciate a villainous character. Second rewatch, I'm like, this is fantastic, and she is by far a standout character in Melbourne Survivor.
It goes down a little after she goes, but it's not. It's not
100%.
It's not that bad. The issue with all of these episodes, which Liz is like, oh, I'm going nice on the edit, and make it compliment me. Liz did a much better job in editing Playing with Fire than she did this. And as much as when Playing with Fire was on, and I was like, why aren't these episodes going for an hour? Because I want to see more of me on the friggin' TV.
Of course.
I have watched a bit of Playing with Fire a second time, not all of it, just a bit here and there. And the episode, even though I would like to see more me, the episode lengths are actually perfect. It leaves you wanting. Here,
I agree. Yeah.
They go on, and they go on particularly in the Strat Chat. And the Strat Chat fails to tell you a story, a narrative of, is it this person or this person? And then maybe something comes over the top and changes the plan. It's just everybody's plans all in front of you, which is what the game is like. But
you feel the scramble with them. For sure.
But there's no narrative cohesion, and it's just like it keeps changing, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like,
yeah, I want clear direction on where this episode is going. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, for sure.
And it when Tara is driving outcomes, at least you have an understanding from her confessional of where it's likely going. But once she's gone, everyone is sort of like has multiple strategies and alliances, which is really interesting, but it's very not clear what they're actually going to do. And when they go into tribal, sometimes I think not clear going into the tribal.
Oh, completely. So, and you can see that in their confessionals too. They're just kind of like I mean, that's what confessionals are for, is kind of like spit taking, like all the thoughts in your head. But this is like they literally have. It seems like they're just kind of lost after Tara. She seems to drive a lot of strategy for them.
Yeah, and they have strategy after it, but they're all a bit wishy-washy about it. And
it doesn't seem definitive.
And the editing doesn't help tell you that story. So I think that's the only flaw in the editing. I think if Liz could go back and edit all that Strat Chat into like half the time and actually like give you a story, it would actually be really, really fantastic, because there were some interesting moves and plays going on. It just got a bit much. But that's the criticism of the first time she was editing a whole thing like this. She's just done it another time now, and it was infinitely better. And it's not because the cast was infinitely better. No offense to everyone here. But it was the quality of just her knowing how to tell a better story when she did the edit. So people grow and learn. That's the same with the Backyard guys and Canberra. Like it's just part of the process. So it's not necessarily a criticism or one that she wouldn't understand. It's just that's the way it was when she made it.
Yeah, completely.
The other thing that I think we need to address is the somewhat controversy of this season, which I don't know if you're familiar with. And I've actually got a new take on it from watching it this second time, actually, because I didn't know about this controversy when I watched it the first time. I was told about it when I joined the community and playing with fire. And then I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. Then that just write the whole thing off anyway. And then I watched it this time. I'm like, I don't think it mattered that much. And the controversy is there was a relationship, a prior existing relationship between Jake and Nick, who end up being the finalists with Emily. And they are not just friends or housemates or played an org together like some of the other people on this season, but they are actually boyfriends. And nobody knew that. I'm not even sure if Liz and the crew knew it. So
you're right.
It's a little bit of a gaming move from the two of them. And I felt that was a bit controversial and perhaps cheapened Jake's win. But on this rewatch, there's a couple of factors that I considered that changed my mind on it a little bit, of whether it was actually a big deal. Firstly, Jake and Nick don't play together at all the entire pre-merge. They're never on the same tribe. So anything they had to do to build relationships and survive was completely on their own and showed their capability as players without each other. In the merge, certainly the early merge, it's not even seems like they're working together. Like maybe they're not targeting each other, but equally, it's not like anyone's going to Nick and saying, hey, let's vote out Jake, or going to Jake and saying, let's vote out Nick. And he has to sort of like convince his alliance not to do it. They're both actually so sort of well positioned. Jake, absurdly so, given how social of a play he was. He should have been targeted much earlier. Nick, I can see, is a bit more hanging back, and I can see why he makes it. Not that he played badly, but he's just hanging back. That it's only you only really see them start talking to each other, and we know how much we saw everyone talking to each other. It's like it was cut out of the edit. Like come the final five. And even then, like Rancy wants to go with the both of them anyway. So it's not like, I don't feel it really drove the outcome of the game from what we saw. Maybe Liz left some stuff on the cutting room floor because she didn't want that narrative to be a part of it. But it really felt like they weren't playing that hard together.
Yeah, I think there was only like once towards the end where you saw them like walking together, strategizing. In like the whole 11 episodes. So I agree with you. And like, because they weren't in cahoots. Like, we didn't see that. Well, it didn't seem like that at all through the whole game. And they played very different games and not ones to support each other.
Yes.
Or like back the other. They were in completely different alliances at all different points of the game. And yeah, I just don't. Yeah, it's controversial, but I don't think it impacts anything.
And the other factor is there was just a ton of existing relationships
Yeah.
in this game. Now, I'm not saying any of those are as strong as an actual
Partners.
couple, romantic couple, and I don't think they are. And I think that's probably the strongest couple you could have in Survivor.
Yes.
Like if you're playing Blood versus Water, your parent, like they might just sacrifice for you. Your brothers and your sisters might just take each other out just because your brothers and sisters. The couple is like the ultimate probably one that you're going to stick together. And Calvin and Jason Muscles had a relationship. They'd lived together. They've been housemates. They were just going at each other. That meant nothing. CM and Tara had a relationship from playing online orgs, and I actually think, and I played that series of orgs. And seriously, if I ended up on a live reality game with someone that I know from that community, I think there would be a very strong connection between me and that person, as long as I hadn't fucked them over a lot in orgs, which does apply to some people. But as long as I had a cordial, good relationship with them from when we played, that would be a huge connection because I know how they play and I know what their style is and I know they know me and those sorts of things. So that's a connection. Ingrid and I think Stephanie Liz told me are like besties since they were like, I don't know, 2 years old or something.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, there were a lot of these going on. I think some people would know other people. I was like, surely like Emily knew Liam. Apparently Liz and Liam are not even dating 2 weeks before this.
Oh, bless. I was like, were they together then? Were they not? I wasn't sure.
2 weeks, and he was a late call up. So she called up her boyfriend after 2 weeks to come play her Survivor LRG.
Come do the nerdiest thing that's in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, surely he would know Emily, but no, he didn't know all her friends at that point. So, but there were relationships, and I think they weren't the only one, and everyone else is just like Emily's. I think talking about how she knows Angela, like they know each other. Interesting from Tara. Sorry. Liam knew Jake and Nick were dating, but never a review. I need more information on this. We're going to have to get into this in the tea party because I don't understand how Liam knew that, but Liz didn't know that. How did Liam know them? Anyway, maybe he knew them as well.
How does he not use that to his advantage at some point in the game?
Yeah, everyone else is fessing up all their relationships, like themselves. I don't know. Tara's just like, I know CM, but I'm going to vote him out. And, it's like, then Calvin and Russell
and he was the opposite.
We know each other.
We're going to vote each other. Tara. Yeah.
JP knew like Jake, but didn't know about Nick. Okay, so he didn't know they were together. And then, so it is, and Liz, Tara says Liz did know. Anyway, everyone knew everyone, and people, and people used that in this game. They used it and told people and spilled.
Absolutely,
Or they used it for relationships, and these guys just did it the best. They didn't spill. And this is why when I walked into playing with fire in one of my many, where people were getting annoyed at me for like checking rules and shit like this at the time with the other training, I was like, I want to know, are you going to tell us who knows each other? Because I watched that last season and there were people who knew each other and I didn't know it. We needed a clean slate. And that's when you got that whole thing where like we had to line up and everyone's like, I know Josh.
Tell each other who knew.
I know Laurel. That whole bit.
Yeah.
That was like my demand because I didn't want to have information not there. But, I'm not that fussed about it. I think it's fine. I don't think it cheapens his win at all.
No,
did you have anything you want to talk about on the Tara really likes people announce when they know each other. It's nice on the system. That's nice to you say, Tara, but I'm pretty sure you kept your CM relationship a secret until you decided you want to dog him out of the game. And then you told everyone that he's like a snake and you got to get rid of him, and I know him from orgs. But I like your approach. I like coming there. Just coming, we'll be getting into people. JP, the first boot. Is he the best first boot ever? We'll get into that in a moment. Is here. Calvin, the villainous hero of this season, is here.
Love Calvin. Hilarious.
And there's some other people watching. It's so glad to have the cast here. Before we get into the episode rundown, Is there anything you want to talk about generally about the season?
No, I want to get into the questions that you posed when you posted about this. So let's dig into, is JP the best first boots that we've seen?
Well, we'll run through the season. Then when you get episode, he gets booted, we'll talk about Lucy.
Okay.
So my notes, I like the intro with like the drones and stuff. It's actually quite high quality. We meet some of the people. We see Emily, who is the third K sibling that we get to see play. You know, I don't know if you appreciate this, but she's sister of Toby and Keegan.
I didn't know until once I got to know the community, but that's cool.
Yeah. Rancy tells us he is a sports business student, but he's not going to tell anyone that. I'm like, what? Why is this a job you're afraid to tell? So he's just going to be a sports coach. And I'm like, I get that he does. Also, what do you think? If you were on Real Survivor, I can see the value or the fear in telling people about being a cancer survivor, particularly as a child. On one of these things, isn't that probably likely to get you more goodwill than not?
Absolutely. It's going to endear people to you. It's going to make them feel guilty because they haven't known you for a very long time. That's one of the first things they know about you. Absolutely. I
think he should have exploited it. Now, if he didn't want to exploit it, that's fine. But
I mean, each to their own. Yeah.
It seemed like he was more worried that it would have a negative impact on him. Like he would get targeted for that reason, which I think could happen in a real story when you're giving someone $1 million. But I don't know if here.
To be fair, if he had made it to the end and that was something that he pulled out in his final tribal council speech, that'd be pretty cool.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm drawn to Emily from the outset. I love myself a brunette secretary. I don't know if it's because I'm obsessed with myself or because I like Tash in Playing with Fire, Emily here. I love myself a brunette secretary.
Tara thinks sports business is a shady biz. And he led his Machiavellian tactics. He's not even in the business. He's a freaking student. Anyway.
Student of the game.
Natalie is a volunteer firefighter. I don't know what she actually does. But I'm like, how is her nickname like Red? Like firefighter?
Yeah, that's great.
Anyway, we get a first confessional with Tara, and she just smashes in with this brilliant confessional where she says she's disgusted with herself for being such a huge super fan and being on this thing. It's a great start. She's such a great character and player that makes her such a riveting watch. Vince says that he thinks he's likable, and having met Vince, he is very likable. He's a likable guy. But he has... And then I noted that Liz is wearing thongs, which is incredibly impractical for what she's got to do. Production
has a standard Liz footwear, though, is it not? Thongs?
Yeah. Just not good for getting around, a lot of walking, a lot of running. Calvin's travelled from Perth because he's a super nerd. Obviously, this is our second time covering Calvin in this podcast. It's also our second time covering Emily in this podcast. This is Calvin's second game. That's when he said, I've played Survivor before. He was referencing at least Backyard 1. Emily will play again after this, which we covered in Canberra 1. Calvin's going to lie and cheat and do what he takes. He comes in with a really great, hard approach to the game because he's played before. He's got that, and you know about that, Dani. Not that we're going to talk about your second time because it's yet to be aired, but playing,
it's
seeing
completely
people,
different. Yeah, it's completely different. You know what you liked about what you do, you know what you didn't like. You've learned a lot of lessons, and you come in kind of guns blazing a little bit more.
And then productions assign the tribes, which I prefer. I don't like random draw. I think you need to try and get a decent.
Although putting both Jasons on the same tribe seems stupid.
Yeah, Hat Jason was doomed.
Yes, doomed.
Kind of two of the one. And we got a big one from Ramsey here, or Ramsey, or Greg, as he's also known. I actually spoke to my mum instead after Ep 2 did not get aired, which was mostly try to build. I spoke about his mum. I thought you were the one with cancer, Ramsey. Have I got this wrong? Sorry. I've been thinking you were like this amazing cancer survivor. Pub footy was definitely, you don't get the pub footy crowd at this thing. I learned that too.
Only a handful of us.
Yeah. It's a whole different vibe than being on Australian Survivor. Again, yes, he. Oh, okay. He's got a double whammy of. I'm very sorry to hear this, Francie. Your mother passed away in 2016, which would have been close to when this occurred, and he had cancer when he was kids. He was perhaps using his mourning about his mother as something to build a bond. He still didn't want to talk about the cancer survivor. Obviously, he's overcome a lot, and he overcomes a lot in this game. It's just
He
sort
does,
of
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The double Jasons. Also, they put the most interesting people on one tribe. Like there's some good people on the other tribe, and no offense if I don't mention you here. Ingrid and Jake, probably. Emily's fine. Like she's got a good arc, but she's not the biggest personality. And I love CM, and he's a great guy, and he does fun things. But equally, he doesn't have a big. He's got a big personality, but it takes a while in this game for it to come out. So it's a good thing that Galata go to a lot of.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So they get to nominate someone they trust to make the best decision, which is like a classic Liz fake out where they're actually going to do something else. I'm sure there's a pile of camping gear that you could have worked it out over there. Anyway, and I think this is telling. I think I don't know what that tribe is called. The non-Galata tribe.
Durang.
Durang. Yeah, Durang pick Jake and Jason because I think they're probably identified there's going to be some sort of challenge here, right? And I don't know if JP and Angela are the best challenge beasts from their tribe. So maybe they felt they really were picking who was the most trustworthy on their tribe, which what a start for JP, and then what a downfall.
Yeah. We trust you the most, and then you can get gone.
And then we've got Mel here watching, Mel of Canberra too. Welcome, Mel. And Jake says he knows JP and calls him a big competitor and a bit of an AK. Do you think that's a fair comparison? The AK comparison?
It's an interesting comparison. Is it like a look thing? Like I mean,
there's definitely a similar look, but I wonder. I don't know. I can see it. Okay, AK is a bit of a villain.
Like a mischievous sort of villain, like not like a deep dark villain, but like a mischievous sort of a let's have a bit of fun.
Yeah, it could have a dry wit like JP. I think this is actually a pretty good comparison. They go hard for this equipment. JP goes hard and is trying to steal shit out of their hands, and
he needs to prove his loyalty to his tribe. Yeah.
But it was all that. But JP and Angela basically get jack shit, and Jake and Jason got it all. Just to clarify, no one trusted Josh. He just won a rock scissor paper to put him in the role.
All right. Well, there you go.
Right. JP tackling Jake is an iconic moment. It was. He didn't achieve anything, but he still tackled him. He went hard.
A little bit of fun.
So. Calvin, we got Rachel. Maybe you should have been in that, Calvin. You got some height and some size on you. Maybe you should have been gone for the items. This is where we learn that Jake will do whatever it takes. He's come from New South Wales. I've wrote my notes. He's travelled from New South Wales, and then we'll never see him again. Oh, he will never see them again, and we'll never see him again. Unfortunately, hopefully we can get him on this. I'm trying to find him.
Yeah, I've got Jake is savage from the outset. Surely a contender for the Bromelo.
Oh, he is. I think he might get pipped at the post.
I think he's a contender. I didn't say he's a winner.
Yeah. I think winning the season probably takes you fully out of contention for the Bromelo.
Yeah.
It's got it. I'm not saying I'll knock you out, but who's going to vote for you? CM's come from Brisbane. He's very self-deprecating. He doesn't think he's the sharpest tool in the shed, and he's unfit, and he's a social outcast. So hard himself. I love CM.
And he doesn't like his tribe?
Yeah, well, I get it. Nick spent 13 hours in a car to get here and then spent the night in a park. Do you think he was sleeping in the same park with Jake? Did they drive down together? Are they faking us out to the camera here? And right at the start, he says he's been approached by the big personalities such as Calvin and Tara to throw JP under the bus. I've got to admit, Nick's like gear is just in a plastic bag. Is that what production gave them to store their stuff? Like you get tote bags now, or do you think he's literally just brought a plastic bag full of his stuff? Let me know, crew.
Yeah, cool. Let us know.
And then they're eating food. I'm like, where did this food come from? And did production provide? I think production must have like cooked some rice and just like dumped it on them and said, "Hey, here you go. Here's your food."
From the outset,
I can't imagine they could light a fire in those conditions. It was very dry.
Yeah, but it's also like the very beginning. Figure it out. Like start them. I realize what I said. But just they don't need to eat that early. The day's just started.
Yes, as Tara said, fire ban. But yeah, I agree. Why are they giving them food on Friday night or whatever it would have been? Yeah, how soft. Super soft. You didn't need food. Jason Muscles doesn't like Survivor. He doesn't like the show. And I don't know
I've got that in capitals. Jason H is not a Survivor fan?
What a shock.
How do you I mean, it always shocks me when people come on these things like who are not fans. I'm like, how did this happen? Why are you here?
I've written that he was there to rep the sporty himbos of the franchise. Is it really a sporty himbo?
Yeah, he is.
He's like probably the best looking person on the tribe, if we want to give him some credit. And I sort of like a guy with dreads. He's pulling it off. And then Hat Jason realizes he's old and feels on the outs. I'm like, yeah, you're in a tough spot, Hate Jason. Not only the oldest, but someone else has your name, and that's not someone anyone's going to be voting off anytime soon. And it's just confusing when there's two people with the same name on the one tribe. Yeah.
He gives me like David Wright vibes, but not in a good way.
That's a huge compliment. Like David Wright.
I was just like, I don't know if it's the look of him or the way he wore his buff, but I was like, why are you reminding me of David Wright here? Not necessarily in strategy, but just, I don't know what it was, but it just popped in my head.
He was going to have such an uphill battle being his age on that tribe, on any tribe.
Absolutely.
I don't know how relatable he could have been. It would have been very difficult. The food was gross. It was waiting for them at camp. It was lukewarm with burnt edges. Well, you know what? You shouldn't have gone anything. Blah, blah, blah. Back to the other tribe. JP thinks Ramsey is a problem and lacks social play. JP thinks he's the swing, but he's only spoken to 3 people. I'm like, what the fuck? How can you think you're the swing when you've only spoken to half the tribe? Like, what are you? That was one. What are you saying, JP? And then I said the shelter they built is actually pretty good. Like, it looks good, but it doesn't do fucking shit to like protect you.
No, but it looks impressive.
And then the snoring was bad, and then they were cold.
That has to be one of the worst things. Like when you've just met people, like you're finally like dying down, like of all the adrenaline you've had of meeting these people, and it's like, okay, it's time to go to sleep. And then 1 or 2 or 4 or 5 people start fucking snoring, and it's just like, come on, man, really? We have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Shut up.
I think here's a tip for all the guys that are going to play Survivor, particularly if you're a snorer. And you should find out if you're a snorer. Like every guy snores probably when he drinks, but not everyone snores otherwise. If you're a snorer, ask your partner and let them to be honest with you. And then you say to your tribe on Survivor, hey, look, I can be a bit of a snorer, but I'm fine if I'm on my side. But if I end up on my back, I might be snoring. So if I'm snoring, just wake me up or try to push me over, whatever you want. Like, I think you need to give people that permission because otherwise it's really annoying.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
I accidentally stepped on Brady the second night when he just wouldn't. When his snoring was so bad, and then he was like, I was like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, mate, you're snoring a lot. Just like roll on your side. He's like, oh, okay, and he rolled on. And it was fine. It was fine after that.
Yeah.
No, it was actually an accident, but it was for my benefit. And then we formed. Yeah, they also were very cold because they stupidly
shared bead bags. Yeah,
they unzipped all their sleeping
bags. Yeah.
One big blanket. That's not how sleeping bags work.
No, you meant to condense the heat inside them.
Yeah. This wasn't the smartest group of people when it came to camping. Tara and Nick, but as it was tribe, Tara has seen everyone's like, sleep was impossible. I got 20 minutes, I only got 1 hour. Look, I played this thing. I got like 5 hours sleep. I don't know what you're all like. It's not that hard. Just go to bed. Tara and Nick and Calvin got the Type 3, and this Type 3 is going to prevail through all the pre-swap. I like that Tara and Calvin found each other because I want them both to stay, and I don't want them targeting each other. And then there's a bit of Steph, JP. We'll get into that when we get to the thing. And then there's a confessional with Vince where I said he looks completely out of it. Like he's just like he was stoned or something. But I think he was actually just so tired.
Just so tired. Yeah. Well done.
I respect that Liz called Galata the Green Tribe because I fucking never remember tribe names, and if the host can't remember them, why should I? I think we did Liz a massive favor being red and yellow Flago for her in playing.
Yeah, double Fuego. Yeah.
All right, so they go to the puzzle, and fun fact about the person on the puzzle. Are you aware of Survivor Dress, who is on the puzzle?
No.
Her name is Donna. You can probably look her up on Instagram. And she has this fantastic Survivor dress, which she's made with all different Survivor logos on it.
Oh, okay.
And then she's got I don't know, 500 Survivors or something to sign it.
Wow.
And she's doing an Australian one now. I think because she met George and some other people when they were doing this for the US tours. She's American. And she obviously contributed some money to this season, and that's what occurred, how her face was put on the puzzle. But yes. I know Donna quite well because I played an org with her soon after this game, and I was aligned with her for a lot of the game. Liz was also in this org, by the way, just spinning off this planet during it. It's a closed idea. We didn't know who we were. It's these orgs where you don't know who the people are until you find out after. But Donna and I are friends on Facebook, so I see all her fabulous pictures with all the Survivor alumni, and they all know her. And I can sort of sometimes get survivors to accept my friend requests because
you're friends with her.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway,
so needy, CK. So needy.
She was so excited when on that org it was revealed that Liz was playing the character Nova, because obviously she was all the way from America but knew about Melbourne Survivor and had contributed her face on this puzzle.
Yeah, that's cool.
We have a comment
96 pieces.
Yeah, it was big, wasn't it?
Like,
we have a comment from Tara that Donna is an angel. I don't know if JP feels that way. He wasn't enjoying the puzzle. What do you think of this challenge?
That's all I've got here is the face puzzle dead, and then her name is Donna, and then 96 pieces. I was just I couldn't get over. That's a ridiculous sized puzzle.
I liked it. I'd be good at a puzzle like that.
Okay.
Would you be good
from the outset, I'm not necessarily a puzzle person.
You're not a puzzle person?
No.
I wouldn't.
I like to physical competition. I like to head to head with people.
I am very good at puzzles, but I had a gameplay going into when I played that I was not going to put myself in any sort of hero position, puzzle throwing, whatever, early on. Because I felt there's just too much of a risk and you're not getting anything out of it.
I think that too. I think that's probably why I'm not a puzzle person, because I don't want to be in that responsibility.
But I would have done well at that one. We got a great comment from Jules here. We need to find the balance between 96 pieces of these children puzzle. It's a good comment, Jules.
It's very true. It's very true. And it's a big balance to be found.
I've got Ash says Donna's face did not look how it should have had. Oh yeah, they were getting it right. It gives Josh PTSD. I should try to get you guys to be friends on Facebook so her picture can just come up all the time, Josh, when you're just scrolling through your feed. I've got here that Liz is actually giving advice to some of the puzzle people and they're just not following it. On a Galata, this is Liz's quote, Galata are giving advice to the puzzle people and they are not following it. They're not even listening. So I would query the ability to properly backseat drive that puzzle with 96 pieces.
Yeah, that would be hard.
And
especially if it's a fake, it's not necessarily like a logo or something that like
Oh,
you
look at
know
that.
or expect.
Yeah,
You're like
yeah,
you're trying to like, oh, these
It's
are
like,
like the corners of the logo. Someone's face you don't fucking know.
but that's her nose. It's like, yes, I fucking know it's her nose.
I don't know. Where does it like? How does it sit on the face? Is it high? Is it low? What is it we doing? She's sideways facing.
And I said they've been horrible at this puzzle, and they've been horrible at the thing, to be honest. Like,
It was
and then
horrible.
and I love Jason Muscles just fucking takes the immunity idol from Liz. He has no clue about the etiquette of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't take this. Maybe the puzzle people should take it. You know, there's like an etiquette. Obviously, it's been happening on 46 at the moment. But
yes.
Who gets it? Don't grab it.
Yeah.
Just, I never. I didn't
put people
even
forward
try
for it. Yeah.
I didn't even try and take it until the 6th episode. I won 6 immunities in a row, and I didn't try and take it until the 6th one, which I felt I actually was the person who solved that puzzle. So I'm like, give me the damn thing. And I felt good enough about it. But it took that long for me to even feel comfortable. I was more trying to direct it to the person who I thought did the best job.
Like, I didn't take it till people said, you go get it. And I was like, okay, I'll go. Yeah.
Like when Tash did the throwing and like killed it, I'm like, you get it, Tash. And like, there's obvious
100%.
people.
Absolutely. You give it to like the heroes of the.
Yeah. But yeah, Jason doesn't know this and he doesn't care. I'm just going to say.
0 fucks given.
I have so little notes on this Strat Chat for what would probably have been like half an hour, but that's sort of what happens in my notes a bit.
I've got JP seems like the consensus target.
That we got. All right, well, I've got a bit more than that. That's fine. That's what I'm looking for. You can play the color. Vince is targeting Rancy because he isn't good at the challenge. Like, fuck, if that's your criteria for this vote out, then isn't everyone on the table?
Yeah.
And he's shifty. Steph has no idea how Survivor works and asks if she can play an idol. Like, they can play. Like, can she play an idol? And they all miss tribal. Let's get out.
Yeah. Can we just not go? Yeah.
And then there's this moment where like Josh just sort of like, people gonna look for the idol, and they're like, no, and he's like, oh well, okay, and he just sort of slinks out. I'm like, what are you doing, mate? Like, the odds of finding an idol in that time when you could there's other targets. Just try and build some bonds.
Build some rapport. Yeah, it's not the time.
And then Steph's looking for the idol as well. And I've got Tara's completely snowing JP here. I think about how he went to look for the idol and hey, can't trust it. And then Rance is like, what about Steph? And Tara's like, nah, Steph's a goat. I can drag her through the game.
Yeah, I want to take her as far as I can. Which again is
JP thinks it's Rancy, but he also thinks he knows where the idol is. And I'm like, how do you know where the idol is? What is this? Like, how can you possibly know where it is? I think I know where it is. Like, what?
And so there's a special looking tree. I don't know.
JP, what were you doing? I have no idea. But they decided to split because everyone's gotten really, fearful of this idol. I don't do tribal counts as much in this one, unless you got some notes about the tribal council.
Tied on the first vote. Rancy is stressed.
Yeah, I don't do much in troubles either. 4-4 split. They strategize it really well. It's a good effort from a 4-4, from an 8-person tribe to make sure you get that split properly. And then it's a 5-1 on JP. He hopes they're cold, and Liz extinguishes his fake fire torch with her hand, which I thought was a little bit amateur hour, but also a little bit funny. So poor old JP. He goes out here. He'll tell you that this is the most viewed episode of the season. It may be one of the most viewed episodes. If I were to do a list, maybe I'll do that list one day. I'll get the full rank of what is the most viewed LRG episode. This is pretty high, I do believe. And he says they were turned off. It drops down to number 2, like it does for all the seasons. And he's like, oh, well, no one turned off after. Is he the best first boot? I've got an opinion on this. You can give me your take. And there's a couple of factors on how I would determine this or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's got like, what do you mean, like best first vote? Like, because he's so salty when it goes out. He's like a consensus target. Like, what are we targeting as best?
Memorable. That's all you can be as the first boot.
No.
You want JT?
I just don't think he is. Yeah, JT's up there for me. JT goes up there, and then stuff I can't talk about.
Yeah. Well, here's my argument, all right, about JP, and I think that he is the best because to be fair, all of the other he's up against Sandy, something like that, who was the Melbourne one boot, who we've only seen for a brief millisecond. We have Scott from Playing with Fire. We have the 3 from Backyard, who then go on and get to play again in their season 4. And then someone gets Francesca, which is sort of memorable. You have JT, obviously from your season, as you mentioned. I'm not sure about Brisbane. And then you have Canberra, where the first boot from Canberra 1, or Canberra 2, didn't even want to do an exit. Like, it was just a really negative experience. And the first boot from Canberra 1 is Emily, who played on this season, right? So I feel like a lot of these first boots have played again. So I can't say they're the best first boot and be memorable when they had other opportunities to play.
Yeah.
Right. And equally, JT had the edge. Like, I just don't think he's as notable without the edge. The edge is what made his story continue. He was great. Like, he was like a Ream Daily edge guy. And I think JP could have been that on an edge. He didn't have an edge. He had this episode and that's it. And still, he was quite well known from this. So I think he's well known. The episode focuses around him. He has a great story. He's memorable. But the other one I want to say is about attitude. And then now I'm going to get nice. It's so difficult to go on these things and end up being the first boot. Like, I've never been a first boot in anything. Orgs, LRGs, whatever, never. I was a second boot in a drunk fiver, but then I came back and made the end, so whatever. But I was never being the first
But you'll never talk about again in your life.
No, I'm never the first boot. And it must be so fucking shit. Like, everyone here that's on the chat, you, me, we know, we care so much about this. It's embarrassing. Like, no one's going to hold it against you, and no one will think less of you, but you think less of yourself because of it. Like, it doesn't matter what other people think. And he did that, got booted, and then, from my understanding, really chipped in a lot with the crewing and filming for the rest of this season, which is something that Scott did in Playing with Fire. But as much as I'm friends with Scott and the rest of the community have said, hey, come to our things, you're welcome, whatever, he just doesn't want to be a part of it. I think it's just such a bad memory of getting booted first. And I think, and that's, the person at Canberra that wouldn't even do the coverage because she just didn't want to talk about it. Like, for him this to happen and then to help on that day and then become part of the community, become a producer, and become, a big part of this community and just embrace the fact that he got booted first. People make jokes about it all the time. I make jokes about it. He laughs it off. He, I think, deserves to be the most memorable person because I think he's had just the best attitude about it and the way he's channeled that into this community.
Yeah, I completely get. I take your points.
Everyone stop talking. No one wants to come on the nice shit I said, and now they're just saying that I think first boot should be embarrassed, which they should, but whatever.
It's an embarrassing thing.
Nice stuff's over. I hope you like that moment, JP. That was your moment. We won't talk about you again. So if you want,
you've been booted. Bye.
We're already an hour into this and one episode. We're going to have to maybe pick it up. Maybe I don't know. Jordan and I worked 2.5 hours on one of these. I think we're close to 3.
Yeah, look, I've got brief notes. I don't have as detailed notes as you, so let's
Oh, here he is. He's here. Yes, thanks for the kind words. Yes, you're great, JP. Blah blah blah. Okay, episode 2. Rancy's pissed off because the 5 he had. He thought there was a 5, and it was bullshit. And he got half the votes.
He's paranoid and out for revenge.
And Rancy only trusts Nick because he saved him somehow. Nick didn't fucking save you. What the fuck? He wasn't making up narratives in their head in this game. Angela's happy.
That's a common thread throughout this game, I find. That some confessionals to camera, I'm like, what?
Angela's happy. She's up with Vince. Vince thinks Steph made the mistake in the revote. So they were supposed to just go. It wasn't supposed to be 5-1. It was supposed to be 6. Somebody stuffed it up. He thinks it was Steph, possible. Vince wants Rance out next, but he can't carry Steph too long, but whatever. Like, they're all like, it's a great go, but we just cannot drag her. Like, you're just a liability.
Yeah, they're like, she may just say things and not realize what she's saying.
Yeah, I think that's a very good chance. Rance only said that because Nick came up to him and told me he said it. Well, that's a bit gullible, Rancey. Like, I have to say. But good on
Say
Nick.
how? How did you save me? What did you do?
Well, presumably what he's saying is I pushed for it to be JP and not you.
Not you, right?
We were splitting, and I said
That was,
like one we were. And I don't think that's true at all. I think it was actually a consensus that it would be JP.
Yeah, they were just doing it to
Rance
potentially flush an idol.
You've got an idol, no worries. But you know, I think it was. But I like. It's like pretty much. But I like that Nick's playing there. And look, to be honest, that relationship goes a long way for Nick in this game.
It really
that little move there to take credit for the save gets Nick.
I'm jumping right to Final Tribal, but I'm pretty sure Nick says that's his like biggest move is like Rancey, like that relationship.
Then he fucks up the like Final Tribal and doesn't get Rancey's vote and it costs him the game.
No, but that's when he said, "What's your biggest move?" and Nick claims Rancey was his biggest move. Like,
I think just building that relationship, but he didn't throw out the I lied to him to about saving him. Calvin says it's super last minute. Well, kudos to you for organizing a last minute split between 8 people. Not the easiest thing to do. I'm like, hey, Rancey is targeting Vince, and Tara suggests Vince might have the idol. Why? But like, if you're just like throwing shit out,
idol paranoia is real. Like, everyone's convinced everybody has idols. It's crazy.
And like, again, playing with fire, we were given basically the chance to wander around the camp and search for shit because we had to find our pot and flint and stuff. So yeah, there could be, but there wasn't even theory about idols in that for us. But like, some of them wandered down a creek for 5 minutes. Could be idol. Steph got an episode title, which I thought was nice. The banana shirt can be deceiving in reference to Vince. Calvin likes the vibe of Liam, aka the fill-in. I'm not sure how where Calvin, I guess he's getting that chat vibes. Then Calvin just like tells everyone in his alliance, everyone that's sort of on the side of his alliance, like they're all just there. And he's like, yeah, look, just so you guys know, Jason with the muscles is my old housemate, but don't worry, I'll totally vote him off. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? How is anyone buying this?
No, that's like, no. And it's a connection. Thank you. I'm going to break that up.
They said they had a lot of time to search for idols, Tara says, and the glider camp was especially easy to get out of eyesight.
It seemed that way. It seemed very like spread out from where you see like strat chats and confessionals happen. It seems to be like no one nearby at all.
Ange is worried about Emily. And then there's no other trap content, which is fine with me. And we go to the challenge, and there's a immunity reward. They give too many rewards in these like LRGs. I think LRGs have moved away from it now. Back then, they're just filling them up with shit. Like, no one cares about the friggin' bananas. Make them starve.
Yeah. If they didn't eat before they got there the very first morning, then that's on them.
I've got challenges checking items and reordering them. Basic stuff.
I have got that this went for so long.
Oh, they all go for so long.
I've got like in capitals, so long.
I've got a little hot tip for any Survivor producers that are watching this, if there's any there. And this is for the audience too that don't seem to get this when they watch. The casuals don't get this, but I find a lot of superfans don't get this. You know when Jeff or Jonathan says it's first to 3 and they're like, well, then everyone doesn't get to play. Like, what's up with that? Like, everyone knows, right, it's not first to 3. Like, they all play, and then they just pick the ones that are going to be good for the story or the episode or the ones that are actually interesting, and then the winner's still the same, but they just voice up it and say how many they want to make it first to.
Oh, okay.
Do you not know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's where you never see Jeff or Jonathan actually say first to 3. Like, there will be a cut to the crew, like the cast.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
And that's why sometimes you see people all wet, but you didn't see them do anything.
Yeah, of course. I just don't think I've thought about that deeply. But yeah, that makes sense.
But it's it's a better way to edit challenges when you
Agreed.
have when
Yeah,
you have
that's
taking turn style.
Yeah.
You don't need to show them all. Like you show the one that we're about to talk about here, where you know, Chris pushes Nick in the back. Like you show
Yes.
that. That's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And obviously, you probably want to show the winning one because then there's the natural reaction to that, and you have to make that the winning one. But other than that, like just show some good. Or if someone fucks it up and that's why they're a target, okay, you show that, you know. But you don't need all of it.
Yeah.
Tara says less rewards, more punishments. I agree. Let's get a sort of like
I completely agree.
Let's get hardcore in this shit. Yeah. What do you think about? What do you think?
The three of
CM?
us should run an LRG. See how that works.
Yeah, you think about CM pushing Nick over to get the win, just pushes him out of the way.
Yeah, and Nick's so salty about it afterwards. It's fantastic.
It's actually Nick does this really nice leap though, like this hurdle to over the bench to like not completely. And I'm like, why are they only doing 3 at a time? Do these people have no memory? Like they're literally doing 3 and then running back and like it's 6.
The amount of running back seems crazy, and I don't know if people were running because like one started running back, so then it became a trend that's what you did to like make sure of what you're doing. But
I don't know if JP's still here, but you'll be keen to know, JP, if you haven't left, that we're down to 4 viewers. We had 11 when we were talking about your episode, and it's just like just
because we took an hour to talk about one episode. Everyone's gone to sleep.
It's gonna go quicker, but just like your show, we're down to 3 now. Ooh, everyone's just like, oh, we're talking about JP, we're off. Talking about JP, we've heard the best bits. Time to go.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah.
Anyway, obviously that's the second best push that we've seen so far. Keegan's push on Jeremy in Canberra is. Oh, was it? No, it wasn't Jeremy. It was the other guy. Can't remember what his name was. The guy came second. The push on him was much more brutal, and they were only chasing an idol that actually wasn't even there. So like Keegan's still got the best push. And then we go to the Strat Chat. Steph might vote for Ramsey, but maybe not because we haven't seen what he can do. And Calvin's like, well, who else would she vote for? Would you want to vote for? And she's like, I don't know. I'm really indecisive. I'm not going to make up my mind until I'm a final trouble.
Oh, I hated everything about that. I was just like, it made me feel for those players. I was like, good Lord, these are the players that need to go quickly.
Could you imagine being Calvin at this moment? Oh, you don't want to vote Ramsey? Okay, who do you want to vote? I don't know. I'll make up my mind later.
I've been in those chats and it's fucking like. So yeah, I felt for them then. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Particularly if she's not even being like evasive, like she doesn't want to tell you the name. She's worried you're going to go like. She's like, she's like, I'll figure it out later. What else?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So obviously they all decide that she's just too difficult to keep around. The Ramsey, whatever threat Ramsey has somehow generated for himself is not enough of a concern. We need to get rid of Steph. JP he once told me he's a little bit bitter that he somehow got voted out first over a player of that nature who just was saying things like that. But I think he knows you'd rather be the first boot than the second boot because no one remembers the second boot.
Correct. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I think I understand it because they wanted to like just drag her along, but then it just became like, oh, no, this is going to be much too much hard work when this is already hard enough.
Yeah, Tara's like, I still want to keep Ramsey though. I want to get rid of Ramsey because Steph is a naive goat in the headlights. Calvin says Nick really pushed for Steph this vote out. Oh, this is the round he truly saved Ramsey. Yeah, look. I believe that because all you needed was one person in their alliance to be going, nah, I want to keep Ramsey or I want to do Steph. And you'd be like, fine, whatever. Like, it's just too difficult. If that's what you really want, let's just do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's what you'd be like,
Yeah, it's kind of too early to like dig your heels in and be like, no.
Ash is apparently a big Steph fan. That's because you like to find goats that you can drag around.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Vince wants to be tight with Ange. So they've got their 5, which is Calvin, Tara, Vince, Ange, and Nick. Ange and Vince are going to like group up. because Calvin and Tara are obviously a power couple, and they've got their couple, and Nick's in a wonderful spot.
Oh yeah,
wonderful spot.
Middle there. Everybody wants him.
Yeah, and Steph goes 6-1 over Rancy, and then he just wanders around in the background, and
doesn't know where to.
And then walks back, and it's like, I get to sleep in the tent, and you're not. And I'm like, she's quite bitter about this, but she sort of sealed her. It happens a lot where no one's apparently told them, and they learned this for the next time. And number 4, okay, once you get voted out, you walk this way and this way to get out of the shot, right? But no one. They said just walk up there, and they all walk a bit. And then just stop. They're all in the shot.
Yeah, like in that little house, still in frame.
She's the only one who comes right, just comes back and starts
has a little dig.
It's a nice moment.
Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed that.
Episode 3, we're getting a bit more coverage of the other tribe now, who we basically got nothing for all of them on the last episode. Liam's said it'd be hard to vote out someone, but maybe Jason Hatt. Jason Hatt's just such an obvious target for all the reasons we've mentioned.
Yes.
And then Liam has this random leaf hat on and an orange peel on a stick. I don't know what's going on. Liz is looking at this guy and going, "This guy's the one for me. Look at that.
I'm gonna marry that man.
Look at that leaf hat, that orange on." This is Liz's touch. Oh my god!
I don't know, but it's like a. I don't know.
Dated for 2 weeks. I bring in my Melbourne Survivor LRG, and he's gone full jungle. I love this man. It's wonderful.
Is it like a Wilson thing? Like Wilson.
Yeah. And Liam thinks that he, Jason Hatt, and CM are going to be the F3. Bold call, Liam. And you only have 3 out of 8 in the tribe. And then we go back to Green because they're the interesting ones. Now they're going. Nick thinks Nick wants sort of Vince to go because keeping Annie. Tara thinks her and Calvin need to split up a bit. I'm like, that's a good read because everyone's very focused on how much of a power couple you are. It's right. And then someone has to go to the outpost, and Calvin just boss bitches this because he's like, "I'll go," and half the tribe isn't even fucking there. Calvin's like, "I'm going. I'm going to the outpost." And
someone's like, "Maybe everyone else should come in." He's like, "I'm going."
Okay. And the rest of them walk up and it's like, "What's going on?" It's like, "Someone has to go to Outpost." Yeah, Calvin's like, "Yeah, I'm going." Just I love Calvin in this because he just does not give 2 shits about worrying about his threat level or what anyone else thinks about it. Or just nah. I know Jason Muscles, but I'll vote him out. I'm going to the Outpost. Nobody can fucking say anything about it. Me and Tara are like this.
Balls to the wall.
It's actually really great. And off he goes to the Outpost. Calvin says he was doing a great job of hiding his threat level. This is David Jeanette level of obviousness of threat level. It's a good thing you find 2 idols and then you play them effectively as you could. Though you do save yourself. So anyway, Ange is worried about Calvin going, but I'm like, well, who else was going to go? I'm like, Rancy.
And Ange is not going to turn around and be like, "I'm going, not you." Tara offered. She's like, "Well, I will go if you don't want to go."
Rancy sort of suggests that maybe he should have pushed for Nick, which I think would have been if someone had said, even Rancy had said, "Oh, I think maybe Nick should go." I reckon that would have actually got a lot of traction, and I think Calvin probably would have had to back down. Because Nick's so light. But Rancy's like, I didn't want to do that because he was worried it'd be some sort of swap, and he needs Nick here, which I think is a fair concern. I'm like, compared to we got a confessional from Hat Jason. He's watched Survivor New Zealand, so compared to Jason Muscles, Jason Hat is a deep fan because I haven't even watched.
I haven't watched New Zealand. No, me either.
Annabelle is friends with Dylan Hester, who played on New
I follow
Zealand.
him on Twitter.
Yeah, and I've met him before. I met him at a Traitors sort of party when that was airing, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're on New Zealand." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I haven't watched it." And he's like, "Don't." he's like some of the LRGs you cover are probably better production quality.
Jesus, okay. Yeah, I've never heard great things about New Zealand. Oh,
Jules is the fan. Yeah, you've watched everything, Jules. Okay. I don't got here. Oh, purple just do it at random as to who goes. I think that's probably better than letting just Calvin go. But I don't know what this coconut crack thing they're doing. It seems like nonsense. Do you know what that is?
I think it's like a primary school game.
I didn't get it. It seemed like nonsense to me. Something was her favorite moment. I don't know what she's talking about. Her favorite moment. Something was your favorite moment. It's some good moments here. So they go there, and the options are muesli bars, like they don't need more food, or an idle clue.
And Calvin doesn't even hesitate. He's like, give me the clue.
Give me the clue. And then
Natalie's like, oh, I suppose I like the clue. Yeah.
I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly, Jules. It like coconut crack is basically eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Okay.
It's coconut crack, coconut crack.
Okay.
And if you get cracked, you're out.
All right, fair enough. It seems like you could gain that by doing like there's probably an ideal spot to start it in a group of 8.
Yeah, but but like you said, you didn't know what it was, and if you just kind of put your hand in.
I'm just saying if I was going to suggest that, I would gain it. That's what.
Yes.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't be happy with some random thing that I don't understand actually how it's random. Like I would like. Actually, I probably would because like I try not to rock the boat, but I
that's exactly what you do. Yep.
In my head, I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Peacemaker, you are.
Everyone's over. I think everyone's like over strategizing all the time. So like, there's
moments that you don't need to strategize.
And they're like, they have to come up with an excuse about like someone gets food or no one gets food, and Vince just isn't buying it. And I'm like,
Vince is like bullshit. No, yeah, I wouldn't believe it either. I'm like, no, I feel like I would have made up something about a challenge. Or like,
what would you believe? I don't know what you could ever say in these situations.
Yeah, I don't know what you could ever say. Or you could say you competed for an immunity clue. The other person got it.
And what? Natalie beat Calvin?
But they don't eat. Like it could be anything. Like pick a fucking rock. Like give the game a chance. No, I'd believe that over like we fought about food.
So you got the White Rock advantage. Yes, we've decided the White Rock advantage from Backyard 3 Exile is the absolute best advantage to say you've ever got because number one, no one gives a shit about it. It's so circumstantial despite randomly actually working in Backyard 3. And you could just have some rock and say, hey, this is my rock. It's the rock card. The thing I get to play this. Like, I was like, even if that was legit, I don't think people would buy it. I think the only way. You just come
back and you say you have a clue.
Don't tell people that. Why would you tell people that?
I don't know. I'm just like, if someone came back and said they got a clue, I'd be like, great.
Oh yeah, how about this? All right, we're spiraling here, but how about we could either one of us could have a clue or no one could have a clue.
That's better. Yeah.
And Calvin could say, I let Nat have the clue because she said she's not in a great spot in her tribe. And he says to his alliance, obviously, and I feel really good with all you guys, so I don't need the idol. And then she's maybe if she gets an idol, plays it or has one, saves herself, whatever. She's someone we can bring in if we get in a swap or whatever. She's someone we can use. So I try to make a friend.
Yeah, you just got to get the other side, like so you both kind of point fingers at each other. Really,
I was like, no one would believe me. Like even if I convince, I get it. No one believed me too. I think that story I just came up was pretty good, but you got to have the personality that people are going to believe. I think Nick could get away with something like that. But, yeah, yeah. Okay, mate. Doesn't matter what you say. So he does tell his alliance. He's got the clue. He tells Nick. He tells Tara. He grabs Tara right away. He's like, "Come here, look right now." And then Vince is like super sus. Vince is sitting there, his banana shit going, he's fucking got something. He's grabbed Tara.
Nick, Vince is reading him to filth. It's fantastic.
I feel like Natalie sold the story better. Emma didn't buy it, and neither does CM, but he'll give her the benefit of the doubt, Now Ingrid's got itchy fingers. She's not enough strategy, and now she's just like throwing out names. I'm well aware of what this is like when you're sitting there winning, and you're like, who would we put out? And she's like, we're going to do Jason and Jake. She's throwing out Jason to Jake, well, and Jake. She was around Jake at this point. And Emily and Muscles are on board. Tara has this amazing quote here, and it's a fucking outrage. It's not the episode title, where she calls Liam in his weird like orange and like leaf thing the second coming of $2 coach. I think only the fact that Liz was dating Liam is that not the episode title. Like that was incredible, coach. Tara.
She's one-liners all season. Just kill me.
Like the challenge has no commentary, but it's actually pretty good. And they're gonna because they're gonna throw the balls like between each other and then knock down blocks. And then like it's Muscles versus Rancy, and this is quite a fun bit because like it's knocking the blocks. It's like a big puzzle of blocks. Knock them off, and then like to hit the final blocks with pretty accurate throws. And you're looking at Rancy, you're looking at Muscles, and you're like, oh, Muscles, this is going to muscle his way through this.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're behind, and then Rancy, bang, bang, bang.
It's brilliant. It's like,
what an amazing like thrower. Like,
yeah.
It was very impressive. I'm like pretty impressive, and a great celebration with the tribe. They're all very happy. They've been to 2 tribals. I'm like, this is good stuff. Actually, I felt good.
Yeah.
And the choices appear to be between Ingrid and Jason Hatt based on challenges. I'm like, also, he never seems to be wearing the hat. Like, he wore the hat for like 5 seconds at the start. We got stoked with this Jason Hatt moniker.
Well, it's either that or old Jason.
Do you know that the other time there was, I guess it's Hat's better. In the first season of Backyard, there was also a David Hatt and David without hat.
Yes, I didn't.
But I like him being called Jason. I like how he's Jason Muscles and not even Jason Dreadlocks because he is in very, very good shape compared to pretty much everyone else that goes on these games.
But also, aren't they like the opposite initials? Because isn't Jason Muscles Jason H and Jason
M?
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah, so it's just like the opposite. I was like, it took me a minute to I was like, what is happening?
And then Liam's discussing a split on Emily because she was looking for an idol, and in my notes, therefore must have found it. Just
correct. Yeah, if they're looking, they've got it.
And he doesn't care because they can just lose the challenge next time to Ingrid. I'm like, I'll be more about it swap. I'm like, it's becoming a bit of a boys and girls thing, which is not ideal because I don't know if you realize this. These aren't gender equal tribes. It's a 5-3 on both sides. Mm-hmm. It can be difficult to cast women. I'm sure Liz was trying to get a 4-4 or an 8-8 gender split. But
well, we've talked about this before. It's kind of one of those, like, not as many women apply. I mean, it's getting more and more now. The more women that come on board and they recruit their friends and tell them it's actually not such a scary thing. You're not
going out to the middle of nowhere to get like assaulted.
Yeah, and generally like that person goes back to crew. They were like, I'll be there, like I'll support you, like you're all good, so it's fine.
There's a great moment here where Liam tells Emily that he's heard her name, and she says, "Who told him? Who said my name?" And he says he can't remember because it was him. He was the one throwing out her name. He's like, I've heard your name. It's like, who said it? It's like, I can't tell you.
Well, it's the opposite to I mean, it's down the road, but where Jason Muscles tells Ingrid that like her name's come up, and he's like, yeah, because I put it out there. She's like, what the fuck?
He's like straight up. And he's like, yeah. Jake doesn't want Ingrid to go. He doesn't trust Hat Jason. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm just bitching in my notes about how long the Strat Chat is, which I've gone over. Tribal Jason Hat says he's just Jason. I'm like, what the fuck? You're Jason with a hat. Embrace it.
Stop wearing the hat. Like, wear everybody's hats. Make it a thing.
If you live in Australia and people give you a nickname, you have to accept it. There is no. I once worked with a guy, and like he was okay, but like, there's nothing wrong with him. But he was like, trying to get in the group. His name was Anthony, and everyone wanted to call him Tony. And he's like, don't call me Tony. And we're like, well, fuck you. We're not calling you anything, man. You're not hanging out with us anymore. You must
We're trying to give you a nickname. Come in.
You must accept the nickname that you were deemed. That is how we work in this country. And then Hat says he saw Emily pick up the idol. And I'm like, the telephone game about these fucking idols and Emily is out of control.
Out
She
of
doesn't
control.
even have the
And
idol.
Emily's like, I don't have the idol. She's like,
and
check me,
then
check my bags, check my body. I don't have it.
Jason Hatt goes 7-1 over Emily. And this was a lot. Look, it's in my notes a lot. I won't say any more, Liz. I said I didn't need this much Strat Chat for this simple of a vote.
Yeah, it was clearly going to be Hat.
The legend CM Barker, as apparently Tara has told it's pronounced, from CM Barker's current confessional in his current run in Prat Viver, said who his bestie Jason Hatt was robbed. Do you still see Jason Hatt, CM? You're like his only friend on there. Ep4 Power, the Power group is Liam, Muscles, Ingrid, and Jake. Apparently Muscles wanted CM to go, but Ingrid said, nah, not doing that. Calvin then reads the clue, but he hasn't shown Tara because he wanted to get it. Very smart. I also wouldn't show a clue to Tara. I wouldn't show a clue to fucking anybody, but I wouldn't show it unless I've gone looking and I just can't fucking find it. And
and then you need help, yeah.
But I wouldn't show Tara. I think in that scenario, I probably would go to Nick. I wouldn't go to Tara.
Yeah.
He thinks Tara is just the one to go, I know where that is, and just
Well, I mean, Calvin does it in a couple episodes.
I know. I was about to say that. He does that exact thing.
Exactly.
CM says, I haven't really talked to him. Oh, poor guy had a rough go. Poor old Hat. He better run and at least he got 3 apps. Everyone gets 3 apps. What are we going here? And then he finds the idol. It's in the creek. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. They were all convinced it was in the creek. JP was in the creek. Stephanie was in the creek.
Yeah,
anyone that went in the creek apparently the idol. And it was in the creek. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Guess they were all right.
And they clearly didn't look as hard as they should have.
I would be shocked if the idol wasn't actually there until the clue got given out.
That's true.
This is the sort of thing that was going on even in my season. I think production perhaps more advanced now, but I was not being planted. But she saw Calvin get the idol and then forced him to tell her, but it made her feel on the outs because he had to force her, and now Calvin said he's going to target her. Calvin said he's going to target Tara, but now he wants
Ange feel comfortable.
Yeah, to make Andrew feel comfortable. I'm like, oh yes, this got very hectic, very fast.
I really enjoy this from Ange. She seems very unassuming, a very sweet girl, but throughout the game while she's in there, she doesn't put up with bullshit.
She is sweet.
But in the game, she doesn't suffer fools. She she doesn't believe them, she's like, I don't believe you. Tell me the truth. Or you just said something different then. What do you?
She was doing the medical and playing with fire.
Yeah.
It was good. She was she's got a kind face. She thinks she's going to help you if you got an issue, but equally she's not going to put up with some nonsense. So I do like it. It's good. So now they're going to 3. I've got to go, and then 3 are gonna and now everyone knows this is just a swap. This is
But they seem shocked. Is it the Durang tribe that just seems completely shocked that this is happening?
Which one's Durang? The other one. The lesser tribe.
Yes.
Gallardo know what's going on. Gallardo know what's what.
Yeah, but it's just I've literally got here how are people shocked that this is a swap?
It's obviously a swap. I find it really weird that the group of Vince, Tara, and Nick go. Did you not find that weird? No,
it's Vince, Calvin, and Nick that go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess it's 3 that were in the alliance, and Calvin has Nick, but that leaves Tara with Angela, and they weren't even it was Vince and Angela that was close. It was Cal. Assuming they knew they drew sticks. Calvin, you were just boss bitching your way through the rest of this game. Are you going to the outpost? I'm going to the fucking outpost. Why wouldn't you just say, nah, I'm staying? Or nah, I'm going with Tara and Nick?
Because also
And
in the extensive chats that we see no one be like, "Oh, this is surely a swap. Like, let's like stick 3. We'll go."
I think they knew it was a swap. He's like, yeah, because the problem with going is you're fucked if you're going. You're going.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to being down numbers.
Yeah, 100%.
You're going to be down 3-4. Whereas if you stay, I guess they all knew that, and they're like, well, 6 makes sense, I guess. Like, I don't think Calvin could even boss bitch his way through that one. Like, he's like, I'll just stay and you guys go. He'd be like, no. Like, I'm pretty sure Gallardo knows what's going on. Durang, maybe not so much. M's surprised. And we've got M, CM, and Jake go, which, again, I don't know how they determined it because that's all a bit of a weird grouping as well. But they only had 1 vote and it was so easy, so I don't think their dynamics were really fleshed out. And then we get something that's only ever occurred once in the history of 46 seasons of American Survivor and probably all the rest, a double confessional.
What do you mean?
You're not familiar with the double confessional?
No.
It's in the Amazon. Heidi and Jenna have a double confession.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes.
And then we get one from CM and Tara. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute. I enjoy that. It's cute. Like, they like talk about how they know each other. I like that.
It's all together. It's the best org to play if you're ever looking for an org.
I don't know how you have time for orgs.
You just, sacrifice everything else in your life that you hold dear.
I'm not ready to do that yet.
I had actually retired, but I just finished playing one with 6 weeks and I won. So
retire now.
Now I'm retiring.
Congratulations! Yeah,
I'm retiring.
Now you've won. Yeah.
I won before, but the last time I played, I lost Final Trouble Council by a vote. So now I've actually got another win. So I'm like, cool. Anyway, people don't listen to this. Well, they do come to hear about my org successes, believe it or not. But we'll get back to the coverage. And now, oh my god, the telephone about Emily's idol is now so locked in. It's like confirmed and it's set in stone that Emily has this idol. Liam and Ingrid are just certain. And she's gone with the idol, all good. Like, off she goes.
Idol's over there.
And then we have got the challenge is the old blindfolded block collecting challenge, which is a Survivor classic.
I think it's fun.
Yeah. So they're using their buffs, and like the buffs, unless you're double buffing, which I doubt they were, it's not going to be that of a blackout.
No, but the blocks weren't like brightly colored blocks. They were like pretty like brownie like ground colored. So it would have been hard, like not super visible as you're going.
You could see through your buff, I reckon.
Yeah, I know you could, but it's like you'd have to be like really looking hard to like find those brown blocks on the ground. It wasn't like it was a bright blue block. Say that 3 times fast. Bright blue block.
All right. Purple wins, and they're very happy, and they should be. And I've got Nat did nothing, but I don't think Calvin would let her. I think they were, because I think they were doing a puzzle. Yeah, and that Calvin just going around.
Move.
Get out of my way. And then they get thrown in another fucking random food reward that they didn't tell about and they didn't need. But apparently Vince is struggling with food and sleep, and he's worried that Calvin's going to flip. Jake is back on the other tribe. He's thinking of flipping on Emily. Okay, so Vince and Calvin, they're the winners. Now we're back to the losers, the ones that are going, which is the 3-3, which is actually a really interesting.
Yeah, really interesting.
And it's gonna this has a lot of Strat Chat, but this is actually most of this is valuable because there's a real like mess that's going on here where like Jake's gonna flip on Emily, but Tari wants to flip on Ange, and they're both trying to flip. And who can flip? And then I'm like, what about the idol, Jake? Emily definitely has it. How can you? Yeah. You said, and then like Tara, Tara's worried that Ange can see right through her, and then Ange is doing confessionals, which she does see right through Tara. And
I enjoyed that. That was great.
This whole thing is a mess, and everyone's just trying to flip on each other. Ange and Emily, they played a trial before, and Emily booted Ange, and Jake's pushing a Tara boot to CM, but CM's protecting Tara because he's got his secret relationship. And everyone's just willing to flip on the other, which is like hilarious. And then like it's just bullshit. Like Jake's saying Emily doesn't know the game very well, and Tara's calling bullshit on that. And then Jake's calling Chris not good at the challenges. Like I don't know why, because he won the puzzle, and like he won the challenge where they had to do the like looking things where he pushed Nick over. Like he's been really good at the challenge.
Yeah.
Like I think he's just perhaps making a judgment on the guy because he's a bit bigger.
It's a sizist, yeah. It's a very sizist kind of a comment, yeah.
And I get it. On first impressions, perhaps.
Yeah, but once you see them and in competition, you got to walk that back.
He's been great. He's been great. His size has been in no way a detriment to his performance. He's been one of the better players. So I'm like, that's bullshit. But people are just throwing stuff out.
I agree with you, Tara. It was very dynamic for just 6 people.
Yeah, it seems very, very dynamic. And then there's a handshake. I'm not sure who did a handshake. It might have been Jake and Nick and Rance, Jake and Rance, and Ange saw the handshake, and that's a survival lesson. Never fucking shake hands with people. Like it's like, oh yes, should we make a deal? Yeah. So like, what, let's make a fucking deal. And then so it was Tara shook hands with someone. I think it was Jake, and she's trying to convince Ange that the handshake
it was just nothing.
No
just to make them feel good. Yeah.
And sorry, I said I wouldn't say this. In my notes say I've reached the end point of caring now. And then I'm like, oh, actually, this chat with Rance and Ange is classic, where he keeps changing the plans. And then
this is where she keeps calling him, being like, "That's not what you just said. That's not what just happened. You said the wrong name." What?
And then he's like, "It's a work in progress." It's a work in progress.
And I think that just flutters him even more. He's just like, "Oh, now I can't talk without it being the wrong thing." It's great. It was very comedical.
This is probably the best round of the whole thing, actually.
I agree.
And because then they think, and there's all these strategies if it's going to be like a 3-2. Everyone's flipping, so it should be this. But now Tara's like, well, maybe we can pull off a 3-2-1. But then Jake's like, well, maybe we can pull off a 3-2-1. And they're actually fully grouping back to their original. And stick together, even though none of these people were actually together coming in, which is why they were all flipping on each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
it's fantastic. And then there's a part where Tara said, "I would have loved to see Angie return because she's a great bullshit meter."
I'd love to see Angie play again.
Yeah, she was good. Well, she goes here obviously, but there's a point in the tribal where Liz says to Tara, "Did you believe that?" And Tara's response was, "Sorry, I tuned out." And I was like, "Me too, Tara." But I do actually have a note here that Liz's questions are actually pretty good. I actually felt, if I wrote that, then I must have felt at the time that these were
questions.
This is really good tribal council. So she's really hitting the questions to tease out all the issues that have been happening here. And Tara's worried about the inverse 3-2-1. It's so fantastic that she was trying to pull off the 3-2-1 and then freaks out that they're going to invert the 3-2-1. So it just ends up being the 3-3 tribal lines, which ordinarily would be so boring, but it's so interesting the way that it got here with all these different permutations.
Yeah, and then back to tribal lines. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 3-3 Jake, Angela, and I'm like, no one flipped after all of that, but basically, Rance and Tara are not going to go to rocks for Angela. They just completely balk at that. And I think the other 3 know that. I think they know there's more animosity between the 3 of them than the other 3. They've had some tricky votes. They've had to work things out, whereas the other 3 have just had that one vote on Hat. So it's a 4-0. And Anne seems pretty chilled about it. She's like, I get it. I get that they didn't go to rocks for me. Like, we weren't.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
But even Ange and Tara, who are in the same alliance, were like on the edge of the alliance.
Oh, they were no trust with each other. You didn't have trust with each other. There was nothing to be like, oh, let me lay down my game for you.
And then
especially Tara, not at the 4th vote as well after a swap. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. we come into Ep 5 and Tara's trying to explain it on. Rancy's like convincing Jake, nah, Jake, you're always safe. I was looking after you. I'm like, not if they did. If they did, because Jake got 3 votes here. If the other tribe had done what you told them to do and not reverted back to their original tribe, Jake would have gone.
Jake goes, yeah.
No one's buying this shit, Rancy. And then Rance trusts Jake. I don't know why, because you just try to burn him. And he also trusts Tara now. And I'm like, I guess what else has he got? Like,
yeah, and then he like plays his game. He's on par with Tara's, which I was like, hey.
And he's like,
I don't know, because we've seen so much more Strat Chat from Tara, like,
yeah.
But like he makes a lot of claims like that through the game. Where I'm like, what? What'd you say?
Rance trusts Jake, and then Tara, and then Chris, and Rance said, "This is the final 4." And that's a bold call at this point, but he's actually not huge. He's not that far off.
No, it's not far. But it's like at that point, it's like, wait, what?
And then Jake says that he and Rancy are a showmance, and I sort of said in Rancy's dreams, perhaps. Sorry, Rancy, but Jake's an attractive guy. Not that you're not, but everyone's got an average, and we got to back to it. And then there's the intro, which I'm watching, and I'm like, oh, I like how sus JP looks in it. It's like it's just so sus. But, sorry, I mentioned JP again. He's going to appear. The views are going to go up eventually, back up to fucking 12 or 13 now. Calvin's plan is just to throw one of his guys under the bus, like Vince or Nick. He's like, I'll throw whoever, I don't care.
Yeah. I'll give him anyone as long as it's not me. Yeah.
And Vince says he's tired, and this is a great moment from CM where they get to the mat chat and everyone's like, oh, Ange is gone. What happened? And it's like, did it go to Rocks? And Chris is like, yeah, it went to Rocks, which it did, but there was a lot more to it than that. It didn't actually go to Rocks.
Well, it didn't go to Rocks, but yeah.
But okay, no, it didn't go to Rocks. So Chris right there backs up Rance and Tara for not flipping on her, even though they flipped her on the revote, but there's a lot of that. But still, he's making them look really good to their old tribe mates.
It's a very impressive, like on the fly thought.
Yeah, to not sell them out and say, oh no, it was they flipped on a revote, which is also fine. Like it's not a big deal, but like yeah.
No, I liked it, and everyone just kind of copped it sweet. They were like, yeah, went to Rocks.
Yeah, so it was a really nice move from CM there, and I'm like, Chris cannot balance. He cannot balance on this bench. He cannot balance on anything. And then Ramsey just keeps falling off. I'm like, and then I've got in my notes here, why is Tara not? So this is where they're moving from one side to the other on some bench and some milk crates, and you've got to get to the other side, and then you can do a puzzle. And I've written down, and obviously, look, I'm not saying any of those guys can't balance or whatever, but obviously having CM, he's a big guy. He's sharing space. It's difficult. And I'm like, why is Tara
not even as challenge?
Yeah, I'm like, why is Tara not in that group? She's a smaller woman. I'm like, she better be good at the puzzle.
Well.
Just before we get into that, on the CM one, Tara said we agreed to say it went to Rocks, and she was glad he said it to the other tribe. It gave her some faith in him. It didn't last that long, she turns on him in the merge, but she had some faith. And the old slide puzzle, and Tara's sitting there waiting, like her tribe is so far behind, and she's like, "Don't worry, guys. Liam has no idea.
Yeah,
because if he
could do it, he would have it already.
He would have it already." And I'm like,
this is a core memory for me from like my first watch of Warrandyte. I was like, it burned into my brain the savagery of Tara here, like, and just the way she like just caught like not phased in the slightest. She's calling, like just reading them to filth, and it just like fucking slays that slide puzzle. It's impressive.
It's such a good challenge, and how far behind they are, and how confident that she's like, I just love the confidence. Since like you've got all the time in the world. If Liam could have done it, it would be done.
Yeah,
and to be honest,
you'd have it by now. Yeah,
I can't do slide puzzles.
No,
at all. I'm good at puzzles, everything else, but I cannot do stuff. I don't get it. I don't understand the strategy to them. And this is why in Playing with Fire, on our slide puzzle challenge, the one that John manifested and then failed, no one wants to do it on my tribe.
Yeah.
Like, no one's like, yeah, I can do it. Like, and people look at me like thinking that I might be good at it. I'm good at puzzles, but I can't do it. So I sit out of that challenge. Like, I just could not offer anything. And eventually Max just goes, well, I'll do it, I guess. Like, it's not like Max even said he could do it. So when he beat John on the on that slide puzzle, it was an incredible moment for that reason. We got a comment here that Tara from CM, Tara finished that puzzle so quick that you can watch her complete the entire puzzle in real time on the episode. It was unreal. And Calvin said he's since learned to do puzzles. Well, nice for you, Calvin. But I timed it. She did it in 22 seconds.
That is ridiculous. Tara, bravo.
Liam's like, I haven't done it since primary school. Oh, dude, this went so badly for you. Like, this is why you don't want the hero role. And don't put your hand up for slide puzzles if you can't fucking do it.
No, yeah, if you haven't done them since primary school. But then we also obviously learn out that like Tara's been like doing them for yonks online, like figuring it out in hopes of getting on the real thing.
It was such an amazing moment. Mel's popped in saying here that she watched Tara and reminded of Courtney with the savagery. Yeah, I can sort of see it. I'm not really a big Courtney stan, to be honest, but I can sort of see it. I am a massive Tara stan, though, as I pointed out at the beginning of the show. I was actually, when I was watching this originally, I was so into Tara and I was so into Calvin. And when they go out a bit, it took the wind out of the sail for me. But I was enjoying them both so much. And I'm enjoying them again here. I think I actually really, we get too many gets booted, I guess, but I really enjoyed Liam a lot this season, more than I remembered the first time.
Yeah, like seems like he's quite an understated dude, but like he's in every conversation. Everyone's talking about what a threat he is. His name's on the top of everyone's lips for a long time.
We go into the Strat Chat and Liam, Ingrid. So Vince is the target. But
hold on, can we just go back? Can we just take a moment for Jake's split on the plank?
Oh yes.
Can we just take a moment to...
It was a very long split. We can pull one out.
Very good split. I enjoyed that.
For his groin. Is that what we want to do? Pull one out for his poor groin and the split?
Yeah, pull one out for Jake's groin.
So we go into the challenge, the Strat Chat. Vince is the target. Obviously, it's a 4-3 situation here with the two tribal lions. Ingrid's going to say Liam's name to sort of trick them, I guess, potentially worried about an idol, which, of course, Calvin does have. Muscles, with his relationship with Calvin, tells Calvin that the target is Vince, and then Calvin tells Muscles that he's got an idol, which is interesting. And then he completely throws Nat under the bus. Like, he's like, how'd you get the idol? He's like, I got a clue at the outfit. It's like, Nat did. He's like, oh, Nat didn't tell us that. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then Calvin wants to play an idol correctly. It's on his bucket list. You know, he doesn't mention that the reason he's so desperate to play one correctly is because he could have played his one in Backyard 1 and changed the whole fucking game. But no. Anyway.
You can't talk about other LRGs when you're on your second LRG. You can't talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think you should tell people you've been on an LRG before. I think it's something you shouldn't tell people. Unless they know it, of course, but you shouldn't tell people. And I think these days, well, I reckon it's an interesting fact. If you play twice these days, I reckon there's a good chance it gets out. I think there's going to be people on the LRG that haven't watched it or hasn't been, an avid part of the watching it in the community. But I think there's at least going to be someone that knows you. And I think it's going to be, if you try and fake it, like, you'll get caught.
Yes. Yeah. Again, I have things to say, but I can't talk about it. So let's move on.
Calvin does say he's terrible with idols. It's very true. Then Calvin's like, this is a great moment from Calvin. This is like a Russell Hance level play here from Calvin, which is why I would have been standing him so much at the time. He convinces poor innocent Nat. Oh, I'll help you find your idol. You haven't found it? Oh, you haven't even opened your clue. Well, she's so innocent. It's been fucking 5 rounds and she hasn't opened her clue. I will help you. I know how to find it. I found mine. And they look at the clue and he's like, I know where the fuck this is. and he's like, you go look over there. And he just fucking takes it from behind the tree.
And their confessionals are just like perfect because she's like, this is so great. I really want to work with Calvin. Like, how good that we have this bond and this is incredible. And Calvin's like, this bitch didn't read her clue for 5 rounds. Like, what's she doing? It's just like...
It's not a fucking item. And Jules was like, yes, it's definitely giving David. Yeah, well, I remember David Jeanette did that exact thing. Yeah, and then he had the 2 idols. He's like, it's the easiest idol I've ever found. Yes, we're coming to this.
It is the first of the 2, yes.
And now he's got the 2 idols, and now he's throwing her under the bus because she has the idol to Ingrid. And I'm like, Calvin set this up so well, like, because Jason and Ingrid are concerned about Nat, and they're gonna vote her out. Like,
it's brilliant.
What a round from Calvin. This is his best round.
Brilliant. I love it. It's fantastic.
But this is better when he just plays the 2 idols. Like, this is so good in terms of, like, the way he just completely destroys this poor girl.
Yeah.
Steals her idol and gets her voted out. It's quite incredible.
But she doesn't go. Vince goes here, doesn't he?
Oh, sorry. My mistake. But she go. Sorry, she doesn't go. Right. He's trying to get a voter out.
Because he's trying to play like implicit immunity by saying, I'm playing these on one, like these 2 on one of the 2 of the 3 of us. And they still vote for, they don't care. And they still vote for Nick and Vince.
Yes, Nick gets 1, Vince gets 3, Nat gets 3.
Gets 3, and then they revote.
It's a revote. You said here, Nat was too sweet for this kind of treatment. I can see it. It takes a true villain just to be willing just to snow a poor innocent girl like this guy and give 0 fucks about it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And you know what? Most people don't want to go on these things, and like people will say, I'll be a villain, but you know, then when it really comes down to it, they can't do it, you know, IRL. Like, you know, that's a person. It's a nice person. Yeah. They're here to have a good time. And are you going to fuck with them like that? It's very difficult to actually behave that way. And so good on you, Calvin, because that's what makes it.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. Tara says she loves the frame where Nat is sat alone by herself in the game.
I know.
Oh, poor Nat. And then
also, if you ever play an LRG, don't let that happen.
Yeah, never be alone
by yourself in camp.
Yeah, you're just missing out.
And it will be you.
Yeah,
like you're next.
I felt Vince did better than this. Like my memory, like I thought he maybe made the merge or something. You know, but it's interesting that he goes here and then maybe he gets involved with some of the crewing, perhaps helping similar to what JP does, and then they become Liz's sort of right hand men going into season 3. So perhaps it all works out in the end.
I love that they call him bananas. Oh, that's cute.
Tara, there's a tech chat going on, and she's trying to like comments or something. But you know, I think you should report Mel's comments. They're blasphemous. You should report Nat's comments for Mel's comments for booting me in Drunk Father. Now, Nat feels betrayed by Calvin. She's angry. Fair.
Yeah. Absolutely fair.
Go to Arnold, baby.
Yeah. And it's a pity that she's so nice. Because I feel like a less nice person would have been like, what the fuck, man? Why are you stealing my shit?
And they mentioned how there's only 4 original Galadas left in the game. Tara, Rance, Calvin, and Nick, which is quite funny considering like Rancy was like almost out in the first ep. It's like their core 3 plus Rancy is all that's left.
Yeah, 100%.
And we cut to the other tribe, and Jake wants to get Tara out. He sees her as a threat. I'm like, in this challenge, they need to put balls on balance beam or 2 on the crate. Duck this. I don't know what I'm saying. So
the 2 people on the ends on the crate had to balance 2 balls on the thing, and the other guys had to like pretty much stand side on, like 2 feet on there with one ball.
Yeah. And
last time standing.
My mum says, "Fuck, that was quick. Was that shorter than the tug of war?" I think it was.
I know. I think tug of war was shorter, but only just.
Oh yeah, we didn't cover this. We skipped over it. Calvin said, "I'm still upset that my best tribal had no footage." It would have been a good tribal. I think I note that. I'm like, ugh. I think they do a good job with the zooming in, and making it work. Like, it's a difficult situation.
100%. Yeah,
I don't know how they have that still picture. How did they have a still picture of the tribe at the tribal?
And then did they, after the swap, they took a tribe photo?
No, but the ones that... Do they use the same one the second time? Maybe they do.
They do. It's the same photo. Yeah, it's the same. They use the same photo.
Yeah. Well, it's good they did that because that's not something you always do. Or they grab the still from another bit with them all.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it sucked. I'm sure that sucked. Like, where's the footage? Yeah. We don't know. Or got corrupted, perhaps. So they did the best with what they had. But yes, I'm sorry, Calvin. It was a great tribal for you. Probably the best over your two orgs, and you weren't there. Or your LRGs.
Yeah, I just like to see everyone's reactions to him pulling out both idols. It would have been just so
Matt's reaction.
I would have loved to see that. Oh man. Like the whip around of her head, I'm sure to be like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Liam says they threw the challenge because they're going to boot Nat. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't attempt to keep it. Like, it kind of starts to fall and he lets it go. It's not. Wasn't an obvious throw, but
yeah, it might have been a throw, and I think that's a good strat actually for what they planned, which was to vote Vince out and then do Vince. Then that is the right strat because you maintain the numbers.
Yes.
CM's popping in here talking about my balance skills. It was the last man standing in this challenge. Well, you were, mate, but look, you weren't doing well on the boxes and bench thing. Like, what do you want from me? Like, I can only comment as I see it. Yes, you were great on this, but when you're just standing straight with two balls, obviously you're better. Obviously, you're better holding something than walking across something, which I think we see later in another challenge that you're not that great at walking across something, but holding something is your skill set. CM, it's a different balancing skill set. What is, isn't it?
No, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it was a completely different type of balancing act. And you got to stand with 2 feet, like side by side.
It's not a very embarrassing take. All my takes are awesome. Thank you.
You will never back down from that.
I've never had an opinion I didn't like.
I believe that.
Okay. I don't have much about the chat here. It's pretty clear. They're talking more about the next phase. They're looking at the 5-5, the 6-4. I think
it seems to go in circles. Like, they were like, it's like walking back, everyone's like, yeah, it's gonna be Nat, and then everyone's like, no, we don't trust each other, and it kind of like whirls around, and it's like about to go back to it was Nat, regardless.
Although can't hold, can't walk. Agreed. So
but I think it's not a flat Nat vote though.
No, Liam has 2 votes.
Yeah, Liam gets 2. Vote. Calvin gets 1. Nat gets 3.
Yeah.
So it's not as straightforward as like we'd have expected it to be.
No, this is a great play. This is an excellent play. So the crew of Liam, Ingrid, and who's the other person? I think Dani's frozen.
I'm here.
Okay, so you sort of frozen me there. So you got Liam, Ingrid, and who else is on this tribe from their crew? It's not Nat.
Nick.
No, Nick's on the other side.
No, it's not.
Like you got Nick, Calvin are here.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason, thank you, Tara. Jason Muscles. So you've got Ingrid, Liam. This is a great plan. Ingrid, Liam, and Jason Muscles are putting 3 votes on Nat. Right? Nat thinks it's Calvin, so she's put her 1 vote on him. And Calvin and Nick have put their 2 votes on Liam.
Yeah, because they don't trust that it's going to be Nat.
So they've fully flushed Calvin's 2 idols and
Yeah,
they
I'm not
didn't
saying,
need to.
yeah. I'm not saying it's not a great play. It's just it
No.
wasn't. It seemed quite straightforward going back to camp as it always does. That it's like all on Nat, and then the mistrust comes into play.
Well, presumably they were trying to flush the idols. Calvin said he let Nick get in his ear. He was so certain he didn't need to play the idols. And that's why I think, Calvin has a question about this at Final Trouble Council. It's like they didn't flush the idols, Nick did. Okay, so they didn't put any work into making Calvin feel worried. Nick got paranoid and convinced Calvin to waste 2 idols. Poor Calvin. And this is another missing tribal. I was like, oh my God, do we miss the tribal where Calvin reveals the idols? And we miss the idol where Calvin plays the idols. It's a brutal miss on both occasions.
Poor Calvin.
And Nat takes a page out of Stephanie's book and just sort of wanders around and stands there. Look at that. Calvin's wasted 2 idols. He's feeling a bit annoyed about it. Liam's feeling good about the moves. It was pretty perfect, actually.
It was a great move.
Yeah, it's actually a great move from Liam. Liam seemed to be running that, and maybe he was. Ingrid possibly. I don't think it was Muscle's move. Liam's very good in this, as I've said. Bit of a surprise.
Liam, yeah. So like a silent strategist. I love it.
Yeah. Calvin, Muscle only trusts Ingrid. Calvin's thinking there's going to be a clue at the feast. He's always got his David Jeanette radar up. I've used my idols. I'm going to get more idols. I've got to find this clue. CM, he likes Rancy. Jake now likes Tara in their love-hate relationship. And he's thinking it's going to be 5-5 down the swap tribe lines, which is or do you think it's going to be 5-5 on the... No, that's right. He thinks it's going to be 5-5 swap because this group of 5 on the swap on this side are all like getting together.
We're 5.
Very unusual for the swap 5 to be a power, it's just going to be a very interesting merge, which it is because there are a lot of dynamics here. There is original
huge
5-5,
dynamics. Yeah.
Original 5-5. There's it's original 6-4. It's swap 5-5.
Yes.
But none of the original Durangs had I'm getting into their merge name, which I'll criticize in a moment. None of them really had anything concrete. Not like what Calvin, Nick, and Tara had.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of 3. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. What I got? Tara wants to keep the meat shields in the game. It's merge. Question from Liz. Does anyone think they weren't going to make merge? And Calvin doesn't even think of raising his hand. Like some people are like, oh, yeah. And Calvin's like, no, I'm always making merge. I'm awesome. I'm Calvin. It's fantastic. And then I've got, how's it not even night yet? Like, what time do they start this game? Like, I played these games, and you get to merge, it's normally getting dark.
It is late.
Well, it's not late because I'm in dark. Like,
no, I mean, it's normally late. I'm not saying this is late. I'm saying it's normally late.
And then I'm like, sorry, Tara, but the gang is a horrible tribe name. It doesn't even really link the 2 names. I think it's worse than America.
Oh, that's a big take. From
31 or 30, 29, whatever that was. The gang is fucking stupid. Just sorry, Tara, but I'm not into it. But I love you. You know I do. Look, this is a much better word. She's got confidence. Calvin's confidence. Love that. But look, she's admitting the tribe name is terrible. It made her giggle. At least she's having a good time. There's Tara wants to keep the threats like Calvin. There's a lot of chatter. Emily doesn't want to vote for the 5, her swap 5 that's been formed. CM feels burned by Liam because CM's been told that he was going to be the boot before the swap, which he probably was after Hat. Jason and CM and Hat, Jason and Liam set this alliance. Like, it's still not night. There's a wall sit challenge. How would you go on a wall sit challenge? What's your quads like, Harry?
I think I could do it pretty all right in a quad sit. You spend so much time like a lower level when you have kids too, so you got to you build your core and your quads up pretty quick.
I like it. I like it from a physical challenge because it's more likely, not going to make judgments, but it's more likely, and this does go to a man and a woman, but it is more likely that a woman will win that physical challenge than a man. They just tend to have better core strength and better leg strength. And because guys just go to the gym and like do their chest and their biceps and don't skip
their vanity muscles. Yeah.
And it's good. It's good to have a physical challenge that is probably going to preference a woman, which is not always the way. So I think it was a good idea. Yeah.
And it does, because Emily wins first individual immunity.
It's in the blood, I've written. She's a J after all. She's got the Keegan and Toby genes. She's gonna win these challenges. That's in their blood, winning challenges. But CM very sneakily gets the clue. He gets the lucky spot, and he very smoothly takes it off the wall. And what a fantastic person to get it, because this makes a very fun tribal council.
Such a fun tribal council. And no one can like hide their facial expressions for shit here. Like it's just they blow it up their own games by like reacting to things.
And he knows it's in the fire at tribal council, and he's like, "Oh, that's very obvious, but that's going to be fun." So we'll get to that in a moment. You mentioned Calvin's still apparently very Calvin is not. I don't know when they filmed this, but 4 years ago, 5 years ago, Calvin is not over what CM does to him on this phone.
There are things you don't get over, CK. There are things you just do not get over.
It's not like they're even aligned. It's not like he betrayed it. They never even met. Like they've never been on the same tribe.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so Muscles. I'm like, Muscles really hates his friend, but he's the glue apparently. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but this is where Muscles said he threw out. This is what you talked about this earlier, where Muscles threw out Ingrid to Ingrid.
Yeah, I've heard your name. I threw it out there. It's like, what? She doesn't even know what to do with that. She's like,
she doesn't look impressed. I can tell you.
But like, what do you do when someone like? I mean, I've been on the other side of that, like where someone's like, "Yeah, I threw your name out there," and you kind of like, "Okay, cool." Like, what?
There's been a chat going on here about the CM thing. Calvin said, "Big love for this guy now. We've since aligned in orgs." I can tell you can't trust CM in anything. It's as scum as he comes here. He throws dinky votes on you in drunk Vira and makes you paranoid for the rest of the day because he gets booted. He can't tell you it was his dinky vote. I'm never going to get over that shit. And you knew I would spiral.
You can't get over things.
And you knew I would spiral, CM, because you've seen me spiral when I get dinkies in orgs where I think I'm running the show.
All right. Move on.
Yeah. Apparently you're throwing shade at my bro, Thomas Kelly.
What do you do? Like, because I was with TK, was like, yeah, I threw your name out there. I'm like, oh, cool. Bye.
You should put that JT. And it's not like Muscles goes here either. Jake thinks it might be him if he doesn't have Tyra. Liam thinks it's unanimous on Chris, but they're all making it seem like it's Calvin. I'm like, we're talking about drunk Vira. He thought this worked way better than I thought it was. If you joined the club, I was pretty wasted too.
Well, that's the point of drunk Vira, surely.
Correct. Tara said she was trying to talk some sense into Jason Muscles on this vote. Got his loyalty, but came with his shenanigans. Muscles has shenanigans. Muscles seems pretty straight up. It's a night tribal, which is fun. And I'm like, it's so fun that CM's the target here.
Yes.
Calvin tries to explain how the gang comes from their tribe's names, and I think it's hilarious because it doesn't, and Liz hates it. I agree.
Yeah, she's like, what?
It's a dumb name. And then in the middle of like them vote, like they're all like I would have liked it if CM had got it like actually no, it wouldn't have been good if he got it before the votes. He got it
because I could have just changed it.
Half of them have already voted. He just grabs it, and Calvin's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And CM's like, let's see who voted for me. And Calvin's like, everyone voted for you. It's just like, that's great. But Calvin goes 6-4. and he's idled out. So it can't be everyone was voting him. And I'm like, Chris was actually in the majority. What happened here? Do you think it was because he did it mid-vote, people changed?
I think so,
Like,
because there were still people left to vote. So I think they were like, well, fuck, I can't vote for him now.
Yeah, so they had voted. They said, and Calvin knows this is coming for him. Like, he just, he's so angry. He's wasted his 2 idols from fucking. I was a 5-5. Sorry, 5-5 vote. But is it the case that people changed their vote, or was it always 5-5 going in? CM. It's just like.
And then play that out. What would happen in a revote? Just Chris go here, or is it still going to be Calvin?
I think Calvin's probably got more allies that are willing to go to Rocks for him. Like,
do you think it goes to Rocks though, or does someone just flip here?
Yeah, I think there's a flip on CM.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. We got the information. Calvin said it was salty as fuck. I think it was always 5-5, but Rancy was going to flip on Calvin on the revote. So Calvin was done no matter what.
Okay. Whereas, Chris thinks he's gone. People wouldn't have gone to Rocks for him.
Nick said he was with us. Tara, Calvin, Liam, Ingrid, Jason, Nick, but he wasn't. Okay, so there's a bit of a mix here. But regardless, I'm not interested in this 5-5. I'm not interested in what might have happened. I like the way that
I like the what ifs.
Yeah, but I don't want to know that like Calvin was going anyway. Like that's do not want to know that. I like what happens here.
Oh, it's incredible.
He gets idled out of the game.
Yeah,
his reaction
face.
To
his
reaction
face
to
is so filthy. It's fantastic.
And then what does he say? Everyone fuck Chris or something?
Like fuck his game up or something. Yeah. Fuck with his game.
CM says, poor Calvin didn't deserve this from such a scumbag. Too bad only chat in the game didn't go so well. It's an amazing out for Calvin. It's not ideal from the game from here on because it's a villain getting his comeuppance, which is fun, and that's like what you want to see. But like it's a bit early for it in the story. Like you can't help when it happens.
Cal, it's not cringy. It's fantastic. It was brilliant watching.
It's great.
It's fantastic. I love that.
Look, you probably didn't need to say the thing about CM on the way out because it's not like he was your ally. Like he's just saving himself. But like the stuff in the tribal council, they're like, let's see who voted for me. Everyone, yeah, is just classic.
Yeah.
Tara says she loses her shield and her game ended here too. She probably did. She had to win a lot of immunities to stay a few more longer. JP's back, and he said it was so good to watch with a bit of a sweaty mark. Okay, so Emily's out of the loop. CM is loving life. Tara is regretting what's just gone on. Now they're trying to they're going to build a 5 around the 5 that voted for Calvin, which I think makes a lot of sense. Ingrid and Jake, everyone else talking about how tight that Ingrid and Jake are. I'm watching this. I think, Ingrid and Jake are so tight. And okay, just one more thing on this because this is fair. I think it identifies a bit of Calvin's animosity towards Chris as he went out. He said, Calvin was justified in calling me out. When I picked up the idol, I yelled, see you, Cal. Right, fair enough. I don't think you need to have any cringe about that, Calvin. Like, Chris was baiting you. So, like, it's fine. It's great. It's a great moment.
On all levels.
Great moment for you.
Yeah.
I don't control all the ORCA votes, Well, I think it's going to be hard to beat you. We'll have to see how that goes. But, you've been fantastic, Calvin. I've told you before how much I loved you in the season. I loved it again on the rewatch. Amazing. Like, he's like a top. Is he the best villain on any of these LRGs? I think he might be.
Might be. Yeah, he'd be up there.
I think he is. I think he's a better villain than me. He's more larger than life. Yes, CK, just ask me, better than me. Yeah, I think he is because one, he has more influence in the game than I do in my season, so he's more relevant than I am in mine, and he also is really hamming up the villain stuff. Like he's quite happy to be like he seems like he's deliberately being villainous and loving it. Whereas like, the villainous stuff that I did, like when I was like, having threatening Caitlin that I'm not going to vote for her if she doesn't flip on me.
She's coming out of the bathroom.
I wasn't trying to be a villain. I was just being an asshole. I didn't mean to be. It was just like what was coming out, right? It just seemed Calvin was really playing up the villain, like David Jeanette does.
Yeah,
comparing this
episode.
He plays it up.
Yeah, he's a better villain than you, definitely.
Yeah, I think he's the best. And like, no offense to Calvin's first season, but he's so much better in this season than the first time he played in Backyard 1. This is just incredible performance. Best villain in any of the LRGs. Absolutely love it. So well done. Claps for you. Good on you for putting yourself out there and to risk people potentially hating you. That's always the risk, but you're also good. All right. Okay, so that group has come out. Someone wants to take out the snorers. I'm like, when are these fucking people going to bed? Is there going to be another fucking round? Like, it's nighttime.
They go to bed after this.
And that, I know. Now Tara, Liam, and Nick are bitching out Muscles for being an unpredictable himbo. Are those my words or theirs?
I don't remember them saying himbo. I think that might be your word.
Yeah, that's what he is. And Tara's bitching out Rance for being a goat. Rance just found an extra vote. I'm like, where was this? Where was this extra vote? It just sort of pops up out of nowhere, and suddenly he's got it.
I don't.
And then there's a biscuits wrap. He thought it was a biscuits wrapper, and I'm like, what? When was there a merge feast? I'm confused. Like,
well, there was like because they got to eat a merge.
Kat said thank you. Yes, you're very welcome. Thank you for sticking around for 2 hours. Tara said your words. Yeah, well, they're great words. Unpredictable himbo is a fantastic quote, and if you'd used that in the show, it would have been in the edit. Next, JB says Calvin spooned him, then voted him out. 100% best villain.
Love that.
Okay, so they're doing the bouncing ball challenge. It's a good Survivor classic. You've seen that. That was in Sydney.
I've seen that. I was in Sydney. Yeah.
And Tara dominates this. She needs this immunity. I reckon she's in some serious trouble without it.
Yes.
She's pretty much in serious trouble in every single of these troubles. She just
until she goes. Very much so.
Tara was targeting Chris, and I'm like, oh, they come such a long way from the double confessional. What happened to their org love? Now she's targeting CM. Like, why? Why? Because he idled out your beautiful Calvin. Like, just move with the times, man.
That's exactly why. She's like, fuck this guy.
She was supposed to be loyal to the swap 5, which included CM. But she clearly flipped on that.
But then, I feel Tara, she wanted as many shields around her as possible. Like, she didn't I don't think she cared which alliance it was, as long as there were people in front of her.
My approach is if someone votes out one of my allies votes out one of my other allies, my approach isn't then to turn on that person. Like, they're both my allies. Obviously, you thought that it was beneficial to get rid of that person for you, but I'm still here. Like, I'm not that person. They're all going to go at some point, and I don't have blood on my hands for it. So, like,
Chris says they are different. Like, their games just started to unalign.
Okay. Tara and she had different game plans. He was for the underdogs, and Tara wanted shields. Fair enough. Just wasn't working anymore. And then I've got here, Muscles is pushing for Ingrid again. I'm like, for real? What is going on here?
And it's kind of like, and it kind of the conversation almost happens again, where it's like, I heard your name, and she's like, yeah, was it you?
Is it, yeah.
And it's fun because the edit here shows that like how like deep Ingrid is with everybody, which I haven't really you kind of see her having conversations, but this round like really see her like deep with everybody, which is I haven't really seen any edit to this point.
I think she's a really savvy player.
I agree.
Very socially connected, very strong.
Yeah.
But the nail in her coffin here is Jake, who I thought like was her absolute bestie. He's like, nah, I'm going to vote for her too. Like Muscles is in, I'm in. Like he's just, you've got to love.
Yeah, I think he pretty much says like, I don't want to be told what to do anymore.
Yeah, like Jake is so bold about this because you think someone like him and as big as he is, and look, you know, as big as he is, he's like, you know, I might need he's a social threat. That's his thing, and Ingrid is a social threat. So you think there'd be a benefit in keeping the other social threat shield around, because no one seems to clock him for his social threatness, which is like the best part of his game. And Ingrid, people have clocked it a bit more, but he's just like, yeah, fuck it, let's go, let's take her out. Like this is a winning game. Like, you know, he doesn't play a safe game. No. The safe move is not to vote out Ingrid here. He's like, I'm all for it.
That's a close vote, this one.
Yeah, well, there's the two groups.
That's true.
And the underdogs and the overdogs. But Jake has somehow convinced the rest of the underdogs that he's an underdog when he's the most dominant player in the game, other than Tara.
It's because he's not a meat shield.
He's a great social is the most important thing.
No, I agree with you. Like, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying he's managed to like tone it down because he hasn't won challenges. He's not super dominant. He's just like a nice dude.
Yeah, everyone loves him. Everyone's in love with this guy. But that's the CM's like, this is the greatest guy I've ever met. Like, these are the people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a few episodes Ingrid calls him an angel.
Yeah, but they're all loving it. That too, you go, you're real. And Ingrid thinks it's Liam, gone from Liam to... I'm like, voter's gone from... Someone says it's gone from Liam to Ingrid to Rancy to Emily. I'm like, I got no idea who's going. And then Emily goes for... so Ingrid goes 4-5. And I'm like, why is Calvin so keen to see Emily gone? I don't know. Like, he wanted Emily to go. Like, I think they're talking about it being Emily, or he's smiling at Emily's votes coming up. He seems very keen. Maybe because she was part of the group that took him out. Taking Ingrid out here, Calvin and Ingrid are two massive moves for the underdog crew.
Yes, very
which
much.
Unfortunately, as you know, too many underdogs spoils the broth. When they get together. Ep 9, Jake is happy to see Ingrid go, and it's like surprise, it was me, bitch. That's all the confessional. That's all there is before the like intro thing. He's like, but Emily's surprised that she got taken. I wonder who it was. It was me. Suck it, bitch. Then it's like crack into the like intro credits. Like, yeah. It's a winner edit right there if you didn't pick it up.
That's great.
Emily said it was scary tribal. She would have been aligned with Ingrid, but it was time to make the move. Obviously, you know, very smart for her. This is where Chris confesses to Emily that he knows Tara outside of the game. Yes. But like, he's been with Emily now for like since the swap. And is Emily not concerned that now you're sharing this information? And the reason he's sharing the information because he's like, I want to go now. Like, just FYI, I know her outside the game, but we don't need her anymore. And let's beat her. And it's me, you, and Rancy in the final 3. And everyone goes hunting for an idol. And then Tara's got this like plan where she's seen the idols. So her idol making kit that she's been carefully compiling the entire season, isn't going to work because it's not going to look like the idols. So now she's going to plant her fake idol making kit on another player to make them look devious. I'm like, I don't think this is going to work.
No, this needed to happen like 3 moves ago before you were the main target for everybody.
I don't know if this ever would work.
No, I don't. But if it is ever going to, an unlikely chance it's you can't do it when you're like the main target left.
I get it.
It's fun. I enjoy
Tara, it. The thing I love about Tara is, you know, you've got to like, don't give up. Never give up. Like, you're fucked. Like, you don't have the numbers. No one's keeping you around. If you don't keep winning immunities, you're done. Like, you got to keep fighting, and it's something. Like, I get that. I respect it. She says, God, it's embarrassing for me. I think it had merit, but it's just too much execute. But she thinks she also left it too late.
Yeah, like if like Cal like was in on the plan, or like, you know, like Nick too, and then you could then pin it on like pick a person and then start like, you know, Chinese whispers about it. I think it can be executed, but by yourself and when you're the last target of your alliance, no one's believing you at that point.
Yeah. Jake then gets the idol. There's a new idol, and he gets it right before Emily gets it. And now Jake wants to make a move on his bestie Ramsey, who he's calling Ramsey. And maybe that's why I called you Ramsey. I was like, had Jake calling you Ramsey in my head.
It took me a couple of goes to be like it wasn't until the credits. I was like, oh, Ramsey. Okay.
Yeah. My exact quote is Jake wants to make a move on his bestie Ramsey, who he's calling Ramsey, but everyone thinks he's a goat, but he's made some moves. I'm like, this makes no sense. I'm like, Jake just likes to burn his friends like Ingrid. And then Jake wants to bring Nick. He's the first mention of and Emily, and they're making a core 5 with CM and Rancy. And then Jason is a threat. I'm like, why? Jason is like every other sporty himbo that comes on these LRGs that knows nothing about Survivor. And, if you take them to the end, they will just tank the Final Tribal Council.
Yes.
They are not prepared in any way for what is coming for them in Final Tribal Council, where people that love the game, who are angry that you're there, are going to be asking brutal questions about how you did fucking nothing. And you're like, I was here to have a good time. Like, what?
Oh, make friends.
And then say something bad about the people next to you. It's like, his hair's not amazing. They're just not ready for it. And that's what Jason would have been if he made the end. Seems like a lovely guy, but they're just not threatening in these games at all.
I don't think something like a physical threat, but even though I didn't think he was like that physically, dominating. Yeah,
he's gym fit. He looks good.
Yeah, but in these challenges, and I was like, and
there's some ones where there's a running one that he dominates. I think coming up. So. CM is confessing here. I'm a little bit harsh on the old relationship here. CM is confessing his relationship to Tara, to Jake and Nick. And I'm like, how did they keep a straight face to this? So I'm just letting you guys know, Tara and I have this relationship. We're the other then they do touchy subjects, and I'm like, why didn't we do this in Playing with Fire? I love touchy subjects.
I love touchy subjects.
It's great for an LRG. It doesn't require anything but a pen and paper. It's a good social dynamic changer. Yeah. Survivor stopped doing it because players started gaming it.
Yes.
Do you know why they stopped?
Pardon?
Players started gaming it, so they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
But I think in an LRG, we do get you get the super fans, you get people that just come out of nowhere to try it. They're not going to game it.
No.
People don't like it for immunity either. Because it's not. It can be gamed, but Calvin says it's time consuming. That is true, but it also requires no setup. But I guess, I guess I'll see it. Maybe touchy subjects for double trouble. Who will win the challenge? Tara, I guess because she keeps winning them. Who doesn't deserve to be here? Rancy. Oh, it's a brutal one, isn't it? Do you think they would have said that if he told them he was a cancer survivor? I don't think so.
No.
Okay, I go on the touchy subjects. Touchy subjects are the best. It's from Tara, but it's easy to game, which she did. I would just do duplicate lists of what I thought the majority would say on
100%.
both Chris Marlin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ashley said, would you have made touchy subjects in Playing with Fire if you knew it was coming? Would I have made it that far? It depends where it was. If it was here, no. I would have missed it by one. But it would have been, I don't actually know the question. How would I have done it? I would have gamed it. But, half the answers would have been me, so it would have been easy to work it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at this point in the game, you kind of have that, it's obvious what the majority of people are going to say. CK, yeah.
It's pretty easy. Who's playing the best game? Laurel. The answers be obvious. I can answer. Okay, ask these questions for what they would have been playing with fire. There we go. Who will win the challenge? The real answer would probably be John. Like, I don't know what I would actually say on that. Who doesn't deserve to be here? I reckon Chloe gets the votes, probably. It's probably Dale, but his alliance probably won't want to say it. So I think Chloe probably gets it. Who would you trust with your life is probably going to Kate. I think pretty hands down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who incorrectly thinks they're running the game would probably... The answer should be Tash, but I wonder if people put up a Laurel or something. Who's the biggest threat? Would be Laurel. Who's the most honest? Chloe? Dale?
You?
I guess. It's pretty obvious. Who needs a wake-up call in life?
That was harsh.
It's probably going Chloe's way. Sorry, Chloe.
That was a harsh question. Did Liam get that one?
Liam got that. He needs a wake-up call in life. Not in the game, in life.
That's true. I was like, oh. That's
he got a wake-up call. He's looking at their host over there, savaging him with his questions. You know, Liz says, who needs a wake-up call in life? It's Liam, and he's like, you're right. I'm going to marry that girl.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, all right. Tara wins immunity back-to-back. Boom. I'm glad you gained the challenge, Tara, because we want to keep you in this game as long as we can.
100%.
And they get a breakfast reward, and no one wants to go. Like, they were like, that is a poison chalice. We need to get back to you and strategize. And then the breakfast is just cereal. And I'm like, that is shit. Who wants cereal? Eggs,
no,
please.
I want eggs. I want bacon. I want sausage. I want toast.
Fucking cereal. Tara says the vote for wake up call should have been me, but people only knew the surface of how degenerate I am. CM knew though. That's very funny, Tara. I have to say, and you know, you just said that yourself about yourself, and I love you, but the person that you appear in this game is so like, just seems so strong and so well put together. And I'm not saying you're not those things, and you just said that you're a degenerate and need to wake up call, but you just seem like you've got everything together in this game. You seem so self-assured and so self-confident, and you're smart and funny and dominating the game and dominating the physical challenges. And I know that that's something that you are, and you're an incredible person, and you're really, really interesting and unique. But equally, there's other sides to you that are just not being shown in this edit. And I don't know if it just wasn't there at the game. Obviously, you just said no one knew, you know, that you needed the wake-up call. And I just think, you know, it's great to see that this side of you, this really fantastic side of you, this is all over this show.
Mm. Yes. Yes, to everything you just said.
What over here? Tara says she's worried that Nick and Rancy flip. Rancy, this is what she says. This is the breakfast, right?
No, she says
Calvin says Tara is a shady motherfucker.
She is.
Yeah, fair calls. And then it's like, she's with Nick and Rancy. She's like, I'm worried that Nick and Rancy are going to flip. It's like, Rancy, oh, you're Rancy. I mean, Jake. And then she's like, I'm Jake. And she's like, did Rancy buy that? I'm like, there's no fucking way you bought that.
It was a Kitty telling Ree she's voting for her. No, I'm voting with you situation.
Yeah, no one's buying that. And then Tara's trying to get Rance to play his extra vote, and he just isn't keen. Jason feels left out. She's like, that was a crazy slip up for me. So very I love it's just like, you know, I think I'm worried that Nick and Rancy are going to flip. It's like, wait, you're Rancy. It's like, oh, I meant Jake. It's like, wait, you're...
Wrong name, sorry. Rewind.
Got Liam is so out of touch here, thinking he has a 3 with Nick and Tara. I'm like, what? That's not a thing. That is not a thing. He does, but he has clocked that CM and Emily are doing an underdog thing. CM's targeting Liam. Probably still feels burnt about how Liam wasn't really with him all the way back with the hat guy. Rancy thinks Rancy's reassuring his poor heart by saying that when people voted for him to be least deserving to be here, it was about his physical performance in the challenges. Sorry, buddy, but I don't think anyone answers that question with regard to how you
physical challenge.
Absolutely, and he was actually pretty good in the challenges. Like during the ball throwing that we all love, he was good.
Yeah, it was never like a bad, like he pointed him and be like, "You're the reason we lost."
But I like how he's reassuring himself about that.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
But I'm like,
and to Rancy's credit, he backs himself all game, whether it's deleted or not. He backs himself.
And then I'm like, hey, he's fought the hardest battle of all. He beat cancer. He can fucking boss bitch this game if he wants to. I'm legit. Like,
no, I can believe you.
Like, if you beat cancer, you're gonna have a confidence.
Absolutely.
Do anything. Good on him.
100%.
And then he's like, but his plan here is to take Jake to the end. I'm like, what are you thinking, bro?
That's very silly. Again, but this is like to Jake's credit. People are still not like clocking what a threat he is.
And then we've got Tara. Tara's like, Jason, he's my meat shield. I'm like, why do you even need a meat shield? And Jason isn't even good at the challenges.
No, at this point, you need to start throwing other strategists and social threats out there.
Jason
It's no longer about your meat shield. You need to start pointing the finger at all these other people who are doing all these other incredible things. You can take me out at any point. Like, forget that I just won 2 immunities. Forget that. You could take me out. You'll always have majority. I'm by myself here.
Tara says Nick Ramsey is a boss bitch. Nick Ramsey has been noted here, not Rancy. Ramsey. And then CM's like, oh, it's too late in the game to risk rocks. Since when, CM? You fucking love rocks. He loves rocks. It's like his favorite thing. He once voted for me in org, even though he thought I was shit, because I was prepared to go to rocks a couple of times. And I won that org.
Right.
So thanks, CM. I won by a vote. Thank you, buddy. But seriously, he only voted for me, even though he thought I was shit, because I was willing to go to rocks. Like, he loves them. But he's like, oh, I don't like rocks. I'm like, since when you love rocks? He didn't like them here. Obviously, it developed later. Liam has switched on. He's like, Liam's reads here are really good because he now realizes it's fucking going to be him or Emily. But he thinks that read is right, but his alliance reads are wrong. He thinks that Rance and Nick or Jake are going to like protect him, and they're not. They're not with him.
But that's also credit to them for making him feel that's the case. Yeah.
He goes 5-3 over Emily.
Yeah.
We're on to Ep 10. Tara was worried that Rancy and Nick were going to flip. This is what she told them at the breakfast. You're right.
Yep. Correct.
And now like Tara's seen as the biggest threat, even though she's been like at the wrong end of 3 merge votes. And she hasn't even done anything except win immunities, but it's just she was playing such a strong game at the start that it doesn't matter that she's out of it now. Like she's such a great player that they should need to like it's that I understand why they want to get rid of it.
Yeah, and that coupled with the 2 immunity wins.
Yeah.
That makes her a target to get to the end without having to do anything. It's incredible.
Tara said, yeah, I just run off in the bush at this point because instead of social game, I just didn't have social game awareness at all. I could read the social situations, but I failed socially. She does aggressively try to group up with Emily and Jake here, which isn't the worst.
It's just a little too late.
She says
she's burned Emily like at every point. They said like.
She also says that Rancy is the uber goat, but he can beat anyone. I'm like, sure, Tara. Emily wins immunity, so Tara is fucked, and that's what everyone is discussing. And then Tara's gonna break out the frame job, the fake frame job plan. I'm like, this is such a stretch. And then.
She didn't even believe herself. You could say like she's saying the things, and it's just like I'm just spitting words at this point.
I don't know if you've come in and out, Rancy, but you've officially been renamed Nick Ramsey because that's what Jake and I have called you, and now Tara, so it's locked in. So then, the frame job, and then she's preaching all her failures in an event to not get voted out here. I love how hard she's trying to stay in the game.
Yes.
I love it. I can relate to it. It's exactly
rocks,
what I
rocks,
did.
rocks, rocks, rocks,
And
rocks.
and then the fake idol play, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so desperate.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so bad, but it's so good. I enjoyed everyone's faces here when Ramsey says that he's saved everybody on that's still in the game.
You know, you just called him Ramsey. You're doing that on purpose.
I know. I did that on purpose.
Very good. Jake, I don't know if you're here for this, Ramsey, but Jake called you Ramsey, and I've decided that's why I called you Ramsey that time I met you. What's going on here? There's a great. I'm trying to with Tara. She says, "I've got here. I tell you made a shitty fake idol. If you don't vote out, don't make out. I'll give you. I think she's gonna give the fake idol. I don't know, Jake. Like that's what
she says that she'll tell them whose bag she found it in if they keep her.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then Jake, in a fucking amazing moment, is like, "You probably made that, and it's fake, and you're trying to frame someone."
He just calls her on a bullshit. It's fantastic.
He's just so on. He's like, "You just made that and trying to frame." That's exactly what's happening.
That's exactly what she did.
Now she's trying to get Ramsey to use his advantage to like do rocks. By the way, there was a really bit where we talked about how great you were, Ramsey, for a moment, which is why we're having fun with the Ramsey thing. So if you missed that, like, go back a while and then you can maybe enjoy the joke a bit more because we do think you were great. We love your self-confidence. So she wants him to use his advantage to throw a bit of rocks. And like, he does use the advantage, but unfortunately it's on her. She goes 4-2-2 over Muscles and Rants. Now Nick's thinking, oh, he could be the last green left, and that makes a good case.
Excited about that idea.
Jake thinks Nick and Rancy haven't played good games and wants to go to the end with them. People think Emily will win if she makes it to the end. Well, obviously she doesn't. I never saw that. Like, I know she's like winning the challenges and stuff, but I just didn't see her at all as like an endgame threat. What do you think? The proof's in the pudding, yes.
Pardon?
The proof is in the pudding. She has no votes.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think she's a threat there, but it depends who she's sitting with.
But like Jake doesn't think he can beat it, like he says here. And then
I think there's a lot of focus on the physicality of people, though. Like I think that's.
This is where CM really starts becoming really impressive in terms of his reads. Like CM at this point is really reading the entire lay of the game exactly correct, and I feel like he's the only one at this point who really sees the game as it is, and he sees that Nick is a threat and Jake is Nick's a threat, Jake's a threat because of his social game. Nick will have Calvin's support in the jury. Calvin's a big voice. That voice will carry in the jury. Like, these are the things that CM is talking about here, which is all so correct. He says that Jake's going to win at the end. Like, CM is on fire here with his reads and wants to listen to him, but he's so right. This is the running challenge. And this Jason... there's more to this challenge than running. Jason's running barefoot, though, which I think was interesting.
It's like the block stack, and then they've got to throw to knock it down.
Yeah, and again, who wins the throwing?
Rancy.
He's the throwing master. I can't believe how good you are at throwing balls, Rancy. You're unbelievable. And you beat Jason again and gets him booted from the game. So there's probably two times. So there's these two times that Muscles thought, my muscles are going to come in handy. I'm going to hurl these balls. But you know what? It doesn't matter how hard to throw the balls. You need to be accurate.
Correct. And then bless him, he's so happy about it. Like he does this like very like passion speak, like confessional. It's almost like a final tribal like boast about like, you know, all the feels and what a journey he's been on to be there. It's very sweet. So
CM feels really great. All his targets are gone. He's feeling pretty chuffed. This was the 5 they made after the merge. That's why these votes are a bit like, it's interesting the way they come about, but ultimately this 5 just took charge and both pitched their way to this final 5. We get to the finale. Nick has been to the most tribals with the least votes. That is impressive.
I like that.
That's the sort of shit. Impressive. That's the sort of shit that, you know, you don't want to be going up against. when you're in a jury, that's the sort of stuff that's like, I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Chris says he voted everyone out. I think this is what's been done in the like intro vid about Liz is telling us what everyone did that was great. Chris voted everyone out. Jake was the social king. Emily kept surviving. She had lots of votes. Rancy has been an underdog who built power from, he was almost the first boot, and then he's built his way into this core 5 alliance. And I think he's done a fantastic job. We'll eulogize him a bit when he gets voted out. He thought that it'd be Emily. So it's a bit on that vote, on the final where Muscles went, he thought it was going to be Emily. So he was a bit blindsided, but he's cool because he thinks his best option is to go to M with Nick and Jake. This is the only actual mistake that Rancy has in the game because he actually plays the whole game so well.
He does.
And he has done such a great job to get out of a bad social position, which I don't think he did anything to really bring upon himself. It's just sort of the way it was that he wasn't.
And then once people make opinions about you in the early game, it's hard to shift those unless they give you the chance to do so.
Yeah, he wasn't in that core.
No,
he was, but he was still. He wasn't
more in the Galata 3 like that. He was.
But he was more appealing than Stephanie and JP, and he outlasted them, and then makes the swap, and he makes new alliances with Jake and Nick. And I get he's been with Jake for a long time, and Jake's been a good ally to him. But like, I think Rancy would have had a great shot at the end against Emily and CM. Like, I could see Rancy winning that.
Yeah, and I think because he speaks very well too. Like, he'd be able to like very much break down his game and what he's done.
I think he's got a great underdog story. Maybe he breaks out the cancer thing there.
Like, well, that's what I mean. Like, but I think the people like that's why he doesn't get there because he is that great underdog.
Yeah, but I think the mistake is he's putting all his chips in the Jake and Nick basket.
Yes,
but they're not the two he should be going with.
No,
and he's actually the swing on this because CM and Emily group up here.
Yeah, right. Well, CM and Emily have been together for a while.
Yeah, but now they're clear. Jake feels betrayed by Rancy and wants him gone. I'm like, why? You told him that it was the other vote. I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe it was like Rance doesn't think he can beat Chris or Emily. See, this is the thing. I'm like, Emily? Really? You think you can't beat Chris or Emily, but you can beat Jake and Nick? Like, that's the mistake, I think. I
think he probably sees Emily as a similar underdog story to him. Like, she's always kind of been on the out. She's always got votes, but she's still here. She would have a similar arc.
Tara's trying to correct me. Boy, did she know? She was only there. She thinks the jury would have liked to have voted Emily or CM in that scenario, but she can't say with certainty. Look, you were there, but to me, watching the edit, it feels like it's a bit of a... If those are the final 3, as a jury, you may be a little bit undecided. Like, you're like, ugh. You'd be like, I don't like this final 3. I can't believe this is the final 3. How is this the final 3? I don't like any of these people. I don't want to vote for any of these people. And then it's going to come down to who actually performs the best. And I do think Rance actually has the best story, particularly with almost being booted at the first vote. And that true underdog tale, he's won immunities. Like, I feel like if he could sell his story, because look, we can see that Emily, she was there. She was great, but she didn't sell her story in a way to even get one vote. So she's probably not doing there. CM would have to sell his game, and I just think his game is good, but it's quite under the radar. And Rance's is very obvious if he can get it out there. So look, I'm not there. That's just how I would feel about it. She's like fair, but I think CM has the underdog story too. I guess the question is, who do you think? Would have spoke better. I don't know. Okay, so Rance. CM wants to go with Rance. Rance loves Nick because he's so nice. Meanwhile, Nick thinks Rance is a goat and doesn't deserve to be here. I mean, that's brutal. That's a brutal confessional cut. Oh. And then Jake thinks Emily is his goat and he can't see Nick doing a good speech. They're being really nasty to Nick here. I've got you. I've got your back, Nick. I think you win there. Here he is. He's got a big quote from him. Yeah, final 6 view. I knew I had to make big moves as the jury really didn't like me. I'm not sure even if I got Jake out, I could have won. I was really not liked by anyone until after the game, except for CM and the underdogs. Tara said it would have needed to been a major Christy Bennett level speech. All right.
I think you could have done a Christy Bennett speech. You speak really well.
Yeah. Anyway, we're playing. That's not what happened. We're playing What Ifs. My
favorite game.
Nick is worried about Jake getting the girl votes for reasons.
But if there's a girl sitting on the jury, on the
Ingrid, Tara, maybe, but he sort of burned both of them.
Yeah.
That's
a strange train of thought when there's a girl still left in the game.
Yes. And then I'm like, these boys can't balance. They cannot do this fucking balance beam. Hey, and fun fact, this was the same number puzzle that we saw in Exile Season 3 that we just looked at, with the Roman numerals and putting in order.
Oh, cool.
Jules and I were talking about it, and
Jules would have loved that puzzle.
It's not hard, but I feel that, and my argument was the Roman numerals make it a bit trickier. I think if you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's really easy to see the 15 combos.
Yes.
But you just can't. Even if you can read Roman numerals, which I'm sure everyone can, it's just not as easy to compute.
It takes us like a couple of seconds longer to like double check.
But Emily wins her 3rd immunity. But then, like, is Jake wearing the immunity idol in his confessional? That's very possible. I like it. CM wants Jake, which is a smart plan. He's one of the greatest guys CM has ever met, and he's too much of a threat. So, which is just spot on. So again, CM's got the reads here. CM trying to get Nick and Rance to do Jake because he's too much of a threat. And Nick's the swing between Rance and Jake, and Rance trusts Jake the most. And Jake just thinks it's between Jake and Nick. It's so like so complicated what they think here. And I'm like, Nick likes being the final green. And look, I asked the question, I wonder what he would think or do if he wasn't Jake's boyfriend here. Like,
yeah, that's interesting.
Like, in the end of the day, he almost wins, and if he answered Rance's question better, he would have won. So he might just back himself against Jake no matter what. And, you know, he was there. He almost won the game. So,
yeah.
But he might have thought that was the right call. Nick is now targeting Chris the Rance. Jake doesn't want to vote for Chris because he doesn't think he's a social threat. I've got the tribal here. Quite funny where Tara's just popped up here saying that the jury could all see them falling off the balance beams and they're laughing. Jury attended a lot of the challenges, not sure the integrity of this privilege, but wasn't complaining. It happens in a lot of these LRGs because, frankly, you've been voted out and you might as well get to watch the shit. Like, it's just, you don't watch the tribal, but what's the big deal if you watch, or do you watch the tribal? Sorry, you're in the jury. I don't think there's a big deal about watching a challenge. Like, whatever. Like, I guess it takes away some purity of it. Though I think in Uncharted Waters, we locked all the jury away and they didn't get to see shit. But, you know, like, we had some integrity, but you don't always have the ability to do that. Yeah, whatever. I don't really care. I got to watch challenges. Actually, no, I didn't. I didn't watch challenges. I'm wrong. I didn't watch. No, the integrity's compromised. I didn't watch challenges. Okay. I said it's quite funny when Rance says no one he's like, no one's got an idol. There's no idols, and Jake just like is behind him and takes it out and puts it on. It's such a move in front of the jury.
It's such a move. It's fantastic.
It's like, particularly when I say, "Oh, there's no idol," you know, it's like, and then everyone's reacting, and Rance like, "What's going on?" He turns and he's like, the look on his face and Chris's face is hilarious because they're like, what the fuck are we doing now? Yeah. Like,
because Jake goes there. If not for that.
Yeah, I think they were going to make it happen. I think Jake was going. And now Chris is making a little speech about something about the jury, and then Nick gets an idol, and I'm like, is this Tara's fake thing? Is this what this is?
I was like, where did this come from? I was just like, what?
And then Chris is like, that's fake. And he's like, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. And Rance is talking to Nick, and Jake Jake and CM just look like Rance is just turning around and like talking to Jake and Nick, and CM just looks fucking pissed off. Like,
So
I know
cranky.
what you're doing. You're burning me. And then I'm like, who is this old guy that's just sitting behind Liz in a deck chair?
It was so distracting. Just like watching things.
And then even though Jake and Nick are conspiring with Rance, they vote him out 4-1 over CM. And what a great story. I feel bad that everyone hated Rance, apparently, according to him, throughout the whole show. But fell in love with him after. I think he had a great story here. I think the only thing he failed to do was really recognize the threat level of some of the other players around him. But these games are tough, and I think he was great here. And to battle his way back from the bottom like he did is incredible.
Yeah, he has a great underdog story. Very good.
The original OG ORCA is here, James Wolf. He loves CM. You've got the OG ORCA seal of approval, CM. That's all that matters in life. Okay, what are we doing here? CM's happy that Jake made the showy move because he would have voted for him otherwise. And now CM wants to go for Jake. Oh yeah, because he did the showy move because otherwise he was putting a vote on Jake, and he'd rather not have put a wrong vote on him. But now he sort of wants to go with Jake, but Jake wants to target Chris, but his plan is to target Chris, but then switch it to Emily. So everyone thinks it's Chris, but then take out Emily at the last moment, which I think is a great plan. But CM thinks he's done. He's done. I'm done. They're going to vote me out. That's how it feels.
Ultimately, that is the case.
Nick's finally realised that even though he's the last green, he might not actually get the green votes of Tara, Rance, and Calvin, given the way he's played and sort of burnt them all. And then Jake's like, I got to win this challenge or I'm gone. But I'm probably not because Nick and CM want to go with him, but he really should. And then
again, it's crazy to me that he doesn't go here. It's crazy that he doesn't go here. Yeah.
Well, Nick could have won if it takes him out here. I think probably.
Yeah, and then so we start to say is this where the relationship comes into play? Is that where it hasn't been a factor till now? But is that?
And then I like the challenge with I sort of knew Nick was going to win this because he's a club attendant, and I'm like, this is for the waiters. And he says something where he's doing is does everyone here work hospitality?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows he's got this because he's worked hospitality. He's a club attendant. He's carried these around.
It's a specific strength to have.
Jake was going very well, but he had to switch hands and didn't switch hands quick enough and was penalised for not making the live transition in time. I don't think I've ever seen that even in real Survivor. But you know what? He didn't make it in time. He was out of time, and good on Survivor, good on Melbourne Survivor for identifying that and saying, no, you're out.
Yeah, absolutely. You had a time frame. You didn't do it. Bye-bye.
Nick wins final immunity. Jake feels that this 1 second behind changing is going to cost him the game, and it should. And then there's something about Nick and Jake being from different states. Does any of the cast have something on that? Was that part of their ruse? Because he talks about how a final 3 of the travellers of Chris from Brisbane, one of them from New South Wales, and the other one from ? Would be an amazing final 3 because they all travelled. So, cast, if you could give me some info on that. Jake doesn't want it to be 2-2 because he's worried about the fire making, the challenge, whatever, the extra resume build. I don't think Jake really needs to worry about that, but it's a good reason to tell someone you're not going to give them the chance.
Yes.
Then Jake is like, I like Nick, but he's not a very good speaker. I would have loved to be there when they rewatched that one.
To be a fly on the wall.
It's really. And
watch
then
me not
CM
speak to you
makes
for
a
2 days.
CM says he's voted correctly at every tribal. Good on you, CM.
Well done.
I think you had the best read in this whole game all the time. And then my comment is like, how is there still 50 minutes of this? There is just the final tribal council.
Yeah. To be fair, I kind of skipped through a lot here.
Well, there was a bit of blank time and then random bloopers. And I'm like, what is this? Get it off my screen. Why have you ruined the end of this shit with random extra scenes I didn't need to see, Liz? What were you thinking?
Again, Liz has grown and learnt. We've seen better edits since then.
But then it was but then I'm like, what is going on here? It's a 2-2 tie.
Yeah.
Chris. And then there's a revote. I'm like, why is there a fucking revote?
Yeah.
On Final Four, there is no revote. It's straight into the challenge on a 2-2.
Correct.
There's no revote on Final Four. What was going on production? I have to get into that with Liz. And then someone just flips, and I'm like, what the fuck? This seems like rubbish. Justice for CM. That's my position.
Fair enough. Yeah, I literally only watched like the final tribal council today, so I hadn't quite like the depths of it. But that's completely correct. Like, why are we revoting at 4? That's
not the Survivor
right.
rules.
Correct.
CM should have been in the challenge with Jake. That's what should have been going on. Justice for
Yes.
CM. Hashtag, get the hashtags going. Social media campaign. Justice for CM. And then Emily talks about how Survivor blood runs in her family, which is great. Great little reference to Keegan and Toby. I think she actually mentions Keegan and Toby being in the first season. And there's a nice moment where they destroy the shelter. It's a good idea by Nick. Like, I always love that in old school Survivor where they burn the shelter.
Where they destroy it. Yeah, they burn it down. Yeah. Love it.
So Tara's got some info. She remembers there was a deliberation on production about whether or not there should be a revote. I think it was something along the lines of Australian Survivor back then allowing revotes at the Final Four. Possible.
Okay.
But it's still shit. Justice for CM. Jake, so I got all the trouble here. How are we running? We'll finish at 3 hours. It'll be fine. I'll do 10 minutes on the Tribal Council. Jake opened. I've got a lot of notes here, if you know any. Jake opened his opening highlights. He was good at the challenges and social, and he used it to blindside everyone. And he takes credit for their boots, but rates his jury management. He's very confident. I like it. Emily's
but like he talked about, like he says, like, I was great at the challenges, but obviously not as great as these two. I'm like, so you don't like? It was just a weird point to start on.
I think he's trying to his whole argument is he's the full all rounder.
He's the package. Yeah.
Emily is a survivor. She had lots of votes, and people were always coming to get her, and she got them back. She's got 3 immunities, and she was always cool, calm, and collected. I think that's fair. It's true.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nick went to the most final tribal councils and got the least amount of votes. He got 1 vote the entire game and was at every tribal council but 1.
It's impressive.
That's winning arguments right there.
That's very impressive, 100%.
He's the last Galata. He's the last of his swap tribe. He got someone to play an idol on him. These are great arguments. He's
100%.
got a resume, and he's actually giving facts as opposed to an englobo from Jake of how great was I.
Yes. He's like, this is how I got here.
He says his biggest alliance was Calvin, and then once Calvin was gone, he says he was a lone wolf, and he played that through the game. Calvin asked Nick about the fake idol and where it came from, and the answer was useless. I still don't know what happened, which Tara's explained that in the chat that Nick picked up the bits of Tara's fake idol after the Tribal Council. Calvin's big question, it's about himself, as it should be. If you're this sort of, my question is about myself. Go ask the question yourself.
Mine was too. Mine was too.
And she's like, when you, obviously he talked about this in the chat earlier, he confirmed that Nick got him to play the idols. Did he actually think that Nick was in trouble, when he convinced Calvin to play the idols, and he says yes. Ingrid, what was the biggest move? Jake says what Ingrid probably expects from this answer, booting you, which is always like, well, it was you. Of course, I was taking you out. That was my biggest move.
Yeah.
Big so we want to hear Emily says voting Ingrid, and then like Liam, and I'm like, what? Liam? And also sort of Jake took your thunder a bit. And Nick says saving Rancy and building an alliance out of it, as you pointed out at the start. Jake and Em then say their tightest alliance was each other, and I'm like, since when?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Okay. And Jake says she was a great meat shield and gobbled Nick up once Calvin went, and then claims Nick's flip is his own. He's just trying to steal everybody's.
Just steal everyone's moves here.
Liam, Jake, how much is your bubbly personality yourself or a move? And he's like, it's me, but yeah, I was playing it up and pretending to laugh at your jokes and shit. I like how
savage.
how honest and savage he is here.
Yeah.
Tara, how much control did you have on the votes and get the outcomes you wanted, which reflects her game? Emily's answer is wishy-washy. She says she just went long. No one's going to ever vote for that. Jake says it didn't go right. Jake says he's got a perfect voting history. I guess that's it. Jason likes Emily's survival story and asks her why the other two should win. Why should he vote for the other two? Jake says if it wasn't for him, Emily wouldn't be here. Maybe, maybe not. I think they were all a bit in on that. Nick says that Jason was the biggest threat, and that's the reason. Do you think Jason needs that little ego stroke? Doesn't seem like the sort of guy that was looking for the ego stroke. How nice, Tara. They looked really scared when she gave them a question, but she was going to give them lowball questions to make it easier for them. That's why you're not going to win the ORCA award, Tara. That's not an ORCA move.
Shouldn't have said that. Not voting for you now.
You're too good to be the ORCA, Tara. The ORCA is generally not very good at the game. And this is the question here. This is the question that gives Jake the win and costs Nick the game from Rancy to Jake. Why did you keep Emily? And he says, why wouldn't I? She was my shield. You got the underdog narrative. You were doing way more. You had a much more better argument. Why would I keep you over Emily? And then that's Nick. Why didn't you keep me, Nick? You could, and you saved me. You won immunity. And his answer is like, well, you won immunity and you sort of played advantages correctly. Like, it's such a bad answer. Like, and Rancy says in his voting confessional, I just didn't like the answer he gave me. It just didn't feel genuine. And I think Rancy was feeling quite burnt about Nick burning him at that time. And I think he wanted something maybe a bit more emotional.
He wanted that solid reasoning behind why that happened. It wasn't all just for nothing.
And then CM, classic CM, says he likes big moves and he likes dirty moves. So what was your dirtiest move? And Nick was talking about how the memory challenge, he was blocking people, and then CM pushed him. But then, when apparently CM was on the balance beam, he was wobbling it, so he fall off. This gets CM's vote. He loves this shit. He's like, I love it. I love that you're wobbling the beam. Dirty, dirty, dirty. And Jake says about getting the idol in front of Emily and not telling her and just lying. Lying was dirty. I got the final statement. Jake says he was the best. Em says she carried Jake. Like, what? Nick said he outlasted. So we get a 4-3 win for Jake. He has CM, Ingrid, Rancy, and Liam's votes. Nick gets Calvin, Jason, and Tara's vote. I would have been happy with either of these guys win. I think Jake. I don't know if in LRGs people really do winners edits. But Jake certainly feels like he got one, but maybe that was just who he was. Very charismatic, very social, very dominant throughout the entire game. Had the underdogs convinced he was an underdog and he wasn't. I probably would have voted for Jake, but then again, my favorites Calvin and Tara voted for Nick. So
I think I would have voted for Nick. I think he would have won me with like his story.
Do you think he was better? He was just better at.
I just I think like most tribal councils, least amount of votes, like that. All it's like that tick box sort of like. I would have been like, yeah, you got me there.
Whereas Jake just had the in globo. I was great, and everybody felt I was great.
I love that. We know what I love. We know how I feel about people.
Tara says that in hindsight, she probably would have voted for Jake, but she thinks Nick sold his game better. So it's sort of what we both sort of said there. She agrees with both of us. How nice. Well, I want to thank everyone who stuck it out. We're down to 3 people. We were at 12 once for the live viewing, and there's been a lot of the cast here commenting along. It's been fantastic. 3 hours. It's the longest one of these we've done. I felt it might go this long. But all in all, it's a historic season for LRGs. It's one of the reasons with Backyard 2 that we have this community. A lot of the people from this season went on to be a big part of Melbourne as it's continued on. It's got great characters. It's got an amazing villain in Calvin. It's got an amazing player all round like Tara. It's got an incredible social king winner in Jake. There are a few, I would suggest, not as exciting players, but JP aside, a lot of them go out early, which keeps it very interesting. However, with the boots at the merge being Calvin, Ingrid, and then very shortly after Tara, it does lose a bit of steam. I feel, as I said, if the edits were better on the Strat Chat, this could be a higher ranked season. But overall, it was sometimes tough to get through it. But sitting here 3 hours, going over all the highlights, there were a lot of great moments.
Yeah, agreed. And that's why, like I said at the beginning, I enjoy this more on a rewatch than I did the first time out. But I also think that's because I have more of an understanding of LRGs as a whole.
So that's our coverage. Thank you for sticking it out. Thank you if you're going to listen to this later on your podcast or whatever. You can do a 3-hour run. You can do like a marathon while you listen to this.
Enjoy.
And we will be back next week at some point. Tara has said, Calvin has said, it was fun to listen to the outsider's perspective. Thank you, Calvin. Tara said, thank you for giving us Warrandyte players a moment of relevance. You're very welcome. There's still 3 more weeks of relevance, so get voting. Now, deep dive. I'm trying to track down Jake. See what I can do. Failing that, I'll see if I can track down Nick. I'll work out something. But then we will have the tea party with Annabelle and a bunch of fantastic guests from this cast. It will be
there's plenty
Tara,
of those. That'll be hilarious.
Alvin, and it will be JP. So
yes.
Get ready for the good times, potentially the best tea party yet. Vote for the awards, and then I'll have a catch up with Liz and some of the people that helped her with this season. One of them or two, I'm not sure who, 1 or 2 of Keegan, Mitch, and Rosemary, it sounds like. But looking forward to all of that. Thank you, Dani, for coming on and watching the show, doing the binge, and then doing 3 hours for me on a Thursday night on a Survivor night. But as I said, who really cares about New Era Survivor?
Yeah, this season shit.
Yeah, it is. I'll watch it later. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for everyone who watched it. Thank you for everyone who's supporting the ORCA podcast in our coverage and our rank down of these seasons. Really excited to get into the rankings now that we are ranking, to do Brisbane and then whatever's going to come next in the top 5.
I'm in for Brisbane, just FYI.
Okay, cool. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Dani. Thank you, everyone was here. We will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.